and Anthony are no strangers to scandal. Opie and Anthony on satellite radio.
Apparently, Opie and Anthony are dicks.
Oh, here they go again.
Fun, dopey radio show. Not just any radio show. A radio show that inspires beyond your wildest dreams.
The show was a lot funnier on NEW.
The show's hosts, Anthony Cumia and Greg Opie Hughes.
Controversial team.
6 years without getting fired, a new record for us.
It's just astounding to me.
I didn't want to say it's racist, but goddamn.
This show will rock as best as we could possibly do this radio show.
I'm going to go home and whack to a tranny later. There you go, all right?
God, we just lost our demo, man. What's wrong with you?
This is the last straw for the raunchy radio duo.
The Opie and Anthony Show, the most popular show in the history of satellite radio.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, let's do this, man. Wow. God, we had a lot of guests yesterday. We have a lot of guests today. Bill Burr, Ginger Lynn, Mick Foley, and Chris Morris all making appearances on the Opie and Anthony Show today. Wow.
Busy.
We got a fire rolling. Now there's too many guests. Oh, this is really loud.
Wow.
Thank you.
That music was loud.
And are we going to have Penn Jillette next week? Okay, good. Because I know he's around. We love the Penn Jillette when he stops by.
Have in.
Yep.
Sure.
One of the guys that was happy to talk to me and Sam at Comic-Con.
Penn Jillette?
One of the great, yes, he's great.
He's a solid dude.
Very solid guy, man.
He doesn't have to be doing our show. We like when the A-listers do our show.
Yeah.
He's like an A-minus lister, right? He's right there.
Yeah, he's right there.
He's just about an A-lister.
Legendary guy, man. Everybody knows who Penn is.
Oh, my God, he's great.
Everybody knows who he is.
I don't want...
A-listers are your Tom Cruises.
And your Brad Pitts.
And your Brad Pitts.
Was Brad Pitt in our neighborhood yesterday, Jimmy?
I don't know.
Yeah, he had some kind of... He had that premiere for that cartoony thing he's
What was
doing.
he in town for?
Is he on 66th Street?
He's doing that cartoony thing.
No, I know. I saw him setting up, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if the big Brad Pitt would show up because it's just his voice.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see a commotion outside the theater, so I'm imagining it wasn't a Brad Pitt appearance.
I don't
for the
know.
movie.
I saw his picture in the newspaper.
Oh, then
Not
I guess
sure
he
where
was in. He must have been in town for
A
that.
lot of these
then.
guys have to go to these things contractually, I think.
Chris Morris at 9:15. I'm so excited to talk to this guy. I thought it was just a basic booking. There's a movie out called Four Lions. We got an advance copy. I watched it. Jimmy watched it, and Sammy watched it there. And man, what a great fucking movie, huh?
I had heard about this. It's about four bungling suicide bombers, and it's a comedy from England. And I remember we had talked about it on Red Eye 6 months ago, which meant, I don't know if that meant it was out or if that was just a little trailer they were showing for it.
Well, I would imagine it's the type of movie that's got to have like a grassroots thing happening to it. You can't just shove this into a million movie theaters.
No, this should be in every theater in the country. It's fucking hilarious, this movie.
British. It's a British comedy. It's that British humor.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And
America,
not PC.
No, America just doesn't make comedies like they do in Britain. They don't hold back as much in Britain. In general.
And for them, Islam is like black and white is here. Like they're even more PC with Islam in Britain than they are here. So this is even more amazing that this guy did this. I'm guessing he did do it in England. Fucking, it restored my faith in comedies. I loved this movie. Loved it.
I was thinking that like England is worse when it comes to placating to the Muslims than we are here.
Yeah, much.
So how do they get away with that? And do you think this would widespread in the U.S., like opening in a lot of theaters? Do you think a lot of people would be like, oh, what is like not get it?
It's not. It's very dialogue heavy as far as the humor, which is great. Really funny, bungling moments that are just
bumbling idiots.
They're idiots,
but they believe in their cause.
They believe in their cause. They're jihadists, and I won't give it away, but they're looking for a place to blow themselves up. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's what the movie's about. These five guys. One of them is pretty smart. The guy who's kind of running, and the frustration he has with dealing with these fucking idiots. Trying to get them into a training camp in Afghanistan.
And they
really good, man.
They fucked that up. We could say that much,
They
can't we?
fucked up a lot.
They fucked up their training overseas. They had to come back home with an excuse of what went wrong. So then they decide they're going to just do it locally.
Yeah, then he just decides to, all right, we'll do this. Really great, though.
And they all had just info that's wrong.
I'll have to check that out.
I do.
tonight.
I could not recommend a comedy higher than this.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I don't want to give too much away.
It's only opening in New York and L.A., I think, which, again, it's depressing that a great comedy like this.
Well, they're going to see how the numbers do, and if enough people go out and see it, which I doubt will happen, unfortunately, because the movie's getting great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, then they would open it other places.
It's really smart. It's really different. And there's a couple of great moments. It's just really... It's not just dialogue. I mean, there's some really funny shit. And there's some things that happen in this that you'll probably never see happen in an American comedy. Ever.
No.
Yeah. Ever.
No. Can we talk about the neighbor, the woman?
Yeah, I think so, sure.
Just giving away the one thing where they're going to their sort of like hideout to, plot and plan a little bit, and the neighbor catches them. So they kind of have to admit they're all gay and they're going to have gay sex because they don't want anyone onto them.
Yeah, because
she all of a sudden goes, you guys are gay.
She's like, no, I know what this is. And they got like chemicals in the room. And there's 5 Islamic men. And she's like, I know what this is. And they're like, And then you're thinking they're going to kill her.
Right.
And she's like, you're all packing something. Like she used the word for fag in England.
Right.
And the guy's like, yeah, we're gay. We are. It was very fucking funny, man. When they, all 5 of these Islamic jihadists had to pretend they were homos.
Yeah.
Really good.
Just to protect their plan.
Yeah, I think this guy did a lot of things that would really upset Islamic jihadists.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to have to ask him about that.
There's no way this went completely unnoticed. It couldn't have.
87% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which means it'll do 500 people in the theaters because I love it so much.
No kidding. Yeah, because we love to observe and rapport, and that did nothing in the theaters. And it was way better than Mall Cop.
I never saw Mall Cop, but I
tried Mall Cop. I tried it. Yeah. I didn't get to the hour mark before I had to leave. And I was really trying to get through the entire movie. I really was.
Yeah.
But Observe and Rapport, way better mall movie than fucking Mall Cop. Sorry, Adam Ferrara, we love you. Anyway.
Was he in that?
Yeah, and Ellis Mate was in there as well. And
he knows. I told
Kevin
I told him.
Huh?
I like Kevin a lot, too.
It doesn't matter. He don't care. I mean, he was in a blockbuster movie. What do we know? We're stupid. We're the ones that are stupid. Not everyone that went and enjoyed the movie, right?
Yeah.
I believe, oddly enough, England is trying to get a bunch of YouTube videos removed of radical Muslim clerics spouting their shite.
That's why.
That's a weird line, too, man.
So, yeah.
Opie's videos, it's what you pointed this out. Your video couldn't be on YouTube. Islamic clerics are on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've had a bunch banned over the last year.
That guarantee that some of YouTube, it just doesn't like you.
Bill Schultz that you do Red Eye with. I showed his open wound in his back. Remember that fucking thing? That could have been MRSA or whatever it was. Nasty fucking wound. I shot that. They yanked that one as well.
Because I think somebody.
How do they yank that, but they allow this shit on YouTube?
Somebody doesn't like you at YouTube. That's personal. Guaranteed that's personal.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, you know what I mean? That has to be.
Just doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
But they are their own entity. They could do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but it's really annoying.
It sucks, yeah. Man,
we drank with the fucking guys that started YouTube in Vegas. The little Asian guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not there editing all the videos.
No, of course.
Yeah, but if you get in touch with him, though, it might help.
I forgot his name. No, I think
Bobby
Lee.
Yeah,
it was Bobby Lee. It was Bobby Lee. Yeah, and
Bobby Lee is fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's out of his fucking mind.
He sold YouTube like 4 years ago. We were drinking with him right around the time he was selling and becoming a multi-billionaire or something. We always get to party with the billionaires for a moment or two.
Yeah, for a second.
Think Priceline.
I've never met a billionaire to my knowledge.
Oh, really?
No.
They're assholes.
They're
They're
probably
complete
should be.
and utter assholes.
Are they?
They
don't
can
share.
be.
They don't share any of their money with anybody. We were paying for the drinks. Hello, you're going to make a fucking $1 billion tomorrow. How about you buy around?
Really?
No, I don't know. I don't even remember.
I'm so stupid and gullible.
I'm just making shit up for the radio.
I hate myself. Really? Come smeller.
No, we did hang out. We did hang out with him and drink a little bit with the guy, but whatever.
I was watching a documentary about evangelicals on HBO, and oh my God, just the Midwest and what's going on. It was just these people driving through and videotaping all these giant crosses and the Lord will come, giant billboards everywhere. and then going to these church things that are in 35,000 seat arenas, where a minister, whatever it is, gets up there, starts yapping, and the people do that. Look, they put their arms up, shut their eyes, and look up with a big smile on their face. And then they ask him, why does everybody look so happy? and they answer like, well, we know that life is eternal through Jesus, and we have great family lives, and blah-de-blah-de-blah.
Right.
And why wouldn't anybody be happy? And they got to put a little disclaimer at the bottom that one of the ministers they were talking to was removed for sexual misconduct. It's just like, of course he was. Of course he was. They all look like these creepy, ghoulish, something's fucking wrong with them.
Were they white guys
guys
or black guys?
I did not see one black fellow in the entire documentary. The best, though, was, because they show, everybody knows about Christian rock bands and whatnot. The best was, Jimmy, the Christian comic. This guy was a hoot.
Oh, we got it here.
Let me tell you, was he funny?
So let's play some clips of this.
Yeah, I would love to hear the Christian comic.
The Christian comic.
How do we hear this guy?
He's probably on there, yeah. But is that the guy?
Name?
He's got a little spiky hairdo or something. He's like preaching, and just because of the way he's delivering it, he thinks it's funny.
Is it?
And the people in the crowd are like, no!
Are they laughing?
Yes! Is it? I don't know if that's him.
You got to realize, I grew up ultra conservative Christian, ultra conservative. Very, very conservative. Like we didn't. In fact, that's been cool about traveling around and seeing different churches and how people worship God. Again, the creativity of God is amazing. Like I never seen anybody sing with their hands up till the first tour. We were talking about it during the break, but the first tour I did was with Clay Cross, and I did a 15-minute bit, and I started walking up the aisle, and Clay got up and started singing "I Surrender All," and I remember walking by this lady who was so lost in worship that she was singing with her hands up, lifting holy hands to God, and I never seen that before when I walked by her, and I just, didn't know what she was doing. I know. I thought she wanted a high five.
That's your Christian comedy. It's not quite compelling.
Not my style, but I will say this. As poorly as he would do in front of my crowd, I would do in front of his.
Oh, yeah. That you should fucking get a gig.
Dude,
oh, shit.
And just film the whole thing. And just do your entire action.
You would be
Change your name, make believe you're a
killed.
brand new Christian comic.
You'd be
on the
killed.
scene.
They would.
Must suck to sound like that and have to avoid dick.
Yeah.
Avoid the cock.
Because of God.
Yeah.
Because of the God.
Well, a few of them don't, from what I was saying. And then the brainwashing that goes on with the kids. Oh, it's amazing. They had this little seminar for children, and they were talking about dinosaurs. Oh, Uncle Paul.
Oh, that the people that don't believe in dinosaurs?
The dinosaur things. And they had like this guy singing these songs. The dinosaurs were made 1,000 years ago. And hung around with humans and the little kids are clapping, and then they ask him questions like, do you believe in evolution? They're like, no, God created everything in 6 days, and you cannot tell them that dinosaurs are, millions, if not billions of years old, that fossils they can tell where they came from, the dates they came from, bones, things like that. You can't tell them because people, scientists are people, and people are fallible. They make mistakes. God, on the other hand, it cannot make a mistake, so he's right, and the people are wrong. Well, thank you, good night.
This is why they're so phony and irritating. Because now that Danny just pulled up a cool picture of someone showing like a Christ-like figure on a green dinosaur.
Jesus, riding a velociraptor or something.
As time went on, they could no longer deny like dinosaurs.
Right.
They have to address it.
Yeah.
So now these assholes are saying like, yeah, the dinosaurs hung out with people.
With people.
And it's like they missed us by millions and millions of years.
Millions of years. They showed them actually, and you're right, because for years they denied the existence of dinosaurs as science fiction, some kind of wacky thing. But then when they couldn't do that anymore, they said, well, they're one of the animals, it's in the Bible. And the guy's going, do you know why the word dinosaur isn't in the Bible? And little kids, no! because it's the same reason the word computer isn't in the Bible or airplane isn't in the Bible. It's a new word, but you could read about behemoth creatures, and then of course they twist words around trying to make it seem like dinosaurs are written about in the Bible. And then they're showing pictures of a dinosaur pulling like a little wooden wagon and helping some guy farming.
That's hilarious.
It was a scream.
They're shoehorning
yes,
a 60 million year Jurassic era into a fucking Bible lesson.
I know. But these kids were all wide-eyed and brainwashed and being held by their parents who were just looking all crazily. Like, hey, you know, religion's one thing. You want some faith.
Yeah, come on, guys.
You want a little spirituality. You want a little, insight on what might happen after you fucking drop dead. Whatever. But there is an extreme side to everything. And what I saw in this documentary was the extreme side where it was literal brainwashing of children and the weak. The sickly, the poor, people that have bottomed out. And that's pretty much what I saw. With those hands raised up and they're singing. They all know this. 35,000 people in an arena singing the same song. They all know the words. Wow. It was, and they said this happens every Sunday. 35,000 people fill this place every Sunday. It's church.
How big of a...
It's church. It's an arena. It's a friggin' arena.
I was listening to on the radio recently. I was flipping through looking for the World Series, and on one of the AM stations, this black preacher was on the same guy on two different AM stations. And, like, I listened to him for 10 seconds and turned him off because I'm like, I'm going to wind up getting hooked on this guy. Because he was so cool to listen to. It's like some of these guys are amazingly charismatic.
They know how to talk. That's what Sam.
That's what
Sam Kinison did before he went into comedy.
They know how to get you.
They know how to get you. My question is, what percentage of America believes in the dinosaur thing? That's the scary part.
A lot.
Thank you.
That's
the
amazing.
scary part. You're talking like it might be a little tiny percentage of people, but it's widespread. We got a guy on the line that wants to talk about it and argue the other side.
Oh, I know.
I can't talk to these people.
I would like to hear his argument.
Here's a stat that they had. More people go to church on Sunday in the United States than attend every sporting event in the country.
Sure.
That
makes sense.
And it's amazing.
People are going to church all over the place.
I know.
The numbers haven't dropped as much as they think they have.
And these people, this one guy was smiling. There's a resurgence in Christianity and evangelicalism and blah-de-blah. And just like, they got these weird smiles on their face.
Let's say hi to Scott in Jersey. Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah. I just want to...
Hi, Scott.
I think that you need to get somebody on that can talk intelligently from the other side, because I don't think you think you have evidence for what you're talking about, and you just don't. I mean, I can give you 2 laws of physics that will disprove evolution in 2 seconds.
All right,
let's hear him.
Go ahead.
Let's hear him.
Please
Let's hear them.
Please enlighten.
By the way, you're very unpleasant. I said hi to you twice, and you don't even address the way a conversation starts.
Calm down. I didn't hear you.
I'm calm, Scott.
Right. But just please explain.
I'm going to explain.
Go ahead.
First of all, the chaos proof. Do you know anything about the chaos proof?
No, we don't.
No. Enlighten.
Okay. What that is that if you add random energy to an ordered system, you can't get a more ordered system. That's number one.
What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah. What is that, number one?
Okay, in other words, evolution believes that you start with an amoeba and you add random energy, and then you get a more ordered organism from it. And that defies the laws of physics.
That's a very simplistic way to look at it. It is.
You can't find any system on the universe that exists where you get a more ordered system after random energy was added to it.
How do you know an organism? How do you know that an organism put in the right circumstances, the right temperatures, the right chemical bath cannot change into something else? Organisms are constantly mutating and changing into other things.
No, they're not. You don't have any evidence of that whatsoever.
Don't viruses change?
Look at viruses. They change, they mutate, they adapt.
Sure they do.
And then the second...
Hold on, buddy.
Well, let's go to the second then.
All right, yeah, okay.
Might as well just go to the second.
Yeah, you didn't address the viruses, but go ahead.
Okay, the second idea is that they've shown through the discovery of DNA that you know that every person has 2 parents, and you can look at their DNA, you can prove that they're their parents through DNA.
Right.
Okay, based on that and based on the number of people that exist on the Earth, they've proven that you get the one person if you go back 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, depending on how big a generation is.
Let me ask you a question, buddy, about the DNA. It's now that you are in faith, you're using this scientific evidence. Don't you think it's a little selective the way you're using scientific evidence?
No. How are you going to get around DNA? How are you going to get around that?
I simply don't. I don't buy what you're saying.
How do you get around carbon dating?
And you got around the viruses.
How do you get? All right, DNA. How do you get around carbon dating?
Why don't you have a real creation scientist?
Oh my God, I can't do this.
How do you get around carbon dating then? If we
carbon dating is all guessing.
It's guessing. It's guessing. Taking a definite. Wait.
Hold on, let him finish, dude.
Wait, dude, you're just talking over me. I let you talk about DNA. Now let me talk about carbon dating. Carbon dating.
It's guessing.
No. Let me fucking comment. Holy shit! I let you talk about DNA. Now let me comment about fucking carbon dating. There is a breakdown of radiation. It has a set half-life to it.
Half-life, thank you.
Yes,
I understand half-life.
it is set.
Thank you very much.
And well,
you know what?
What happens is they can backdate how old something is by how broken down the radioactivity in that is through carbon dating. How is that guessing, sir?
Because it makes no sense on the Earth. You have levels. Listen, you have levels of different types of elements at different parts of the Earth. You have gold at certain levels of the Earth, and you can't explain how they get there based upon carbon dating. If you have uranium in a certain part of the Earth, they find it in all different levels of the Earth. If you had a breakdown of what you're talking about, everything would be at the same level.
No, it's not, because everything contains, everything has radiological principle to it that is different than other things, and they have had these bases over the years. They know how long a half-life is with certain elements.
Stop interrupting. Holy shit, dude.
You really do just interrupt.
People listen to you, and then you interrupt.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's how it works. You get your point out, and then the opposing...
Keep babbling.
The opposing
keep
point...
babbling.
You just talk over.
Because your argument is terrible. You couldn't answer the viruses. You just fucking ignored that. Things don't mutate. Things don't mutate. And then we mentioned viruses, and you shut your mouth. Explain viruses not mutating. I'll be an asshole.
Go ahead.
Explanation for how the AIDS virus changes over and over and over again. You can't explain it either. Scientists can't explain it either. I could sit here and tell you that I believe it's God.
It's a living organism adapting to its surroundings. That's what it is. It doesn't have to be explained. You don't have to know why it does it. It does it. I have faith. See? It's faith that a living organism will adapt and change depending on its surroundings. So whether it's an organism or whether it's a primate that is now adapting to its surroundings, it has to move locations for food. It picks up things and learns. It adapts to its surroundings and becomes something else.
No.
All right. Well, you win.
There you go. Good argument. No.
2 fucking seconds. Just listen up for 1 second, okay?
You know what? You've been a cunt. You've been a cunt since you fucking called up, and I'm tired of listening to you. I'm tired of listening to you.
We're listening to you.
You've been a twat since the moment you called the show. We've been listening to you, and you've been a fucking baby and a little twat.
Can we ask him how old Earth is? How old is Earth there, Scott?
Well, this is where we come down to. Can we come down to faith again? I believe it's between 6,000 and 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Okay. God bless you.
All right, fine. You believe that? Okay.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
Fair enough. You believe that?
Anthony watches Discovery Channel all the time. They just had a show on there that showed that they have evidence of people walking around with dinosaurs. They found thousands of fossils.
No, they don't.
There's no evidence.
They don't because they didn't. Because they didn't.
It was on there. I watched the whole special.
Well, it was probably a special on creationism. It was probably a special on creationism.
Doesn't it bother you?
It wasn't a special on... How do you explain the Grand Canyon being carved out of the Colorado River, and in a few thousand years that happened? How about it took millions of years to carve out the Grand Canyon by water, by the Colorado River? How do you explain that?
Now, you're going to laugh at me again, but why couldn't that have been the Great Flood? Why couldn't that have been the flood that's in every civilization? Every civilization has a record of some type of flood that happened in life. Why couldn't the Grand Canyon have been carved out by that?
Because we've seen floods since then, things like, again, smaller floods like Katrina, other things, and they don't leave damage that resembles anything.
It's
like
erosion over time is what the Grand Canyon, the Colorado River,
wasn't.
It's erosion over time. How do you explain glaciers that took millions of years to recede and make our landscapes? How is that explained? It's just time. It's shit that needed millions of years to happen.
So is this
You're throwing out millions of years like it means something. That's just something that you bought.
Scott, Scott, Danny found something about your Discovery show.
I don't know what show you watch on Discovery Channel, but I tried finding it, and what I did come across was there are some dinosaur myths, like a little quiz that little kids could take on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
And this question is the first one. It says, early humans and dinosaurs lived at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit true and get a big red X for my answer.
Oh, sorry.
Despite what you may have seen.
Don't use the Discovery Channel's name like that for your own purposes.
Sorry.
Look up the History Channel, man.
Sorry.
Oh, it's a different channel.
Wrong channel?
Sorry.
No. Look it up.
Dude, look up the Sci-Fi Channel.
I'm amazed.
Turd.
You're just
turd.
Dude, I don't have any agenda. I don't have any agenda pro God or against God when I'm talking about this stuff. I'm not too sure where I stand on it. You have 100%. Like, there's something at stake for you if your information is proven wrong. There's nothing at stake for me negative, but I would like to believe, brother, that God fucking made the planet and that you're right. I would really like to believe that.
That would rule.
It would be great to think that when I talk, God is actually listening to me. I don't know where I stand on it, but you have so much at stake in this point being made or not made.
No.
Yes, you do. Of course you do. Your entire belief system.
Yeah, it is your entire belief system.
Don't deny that.
Let me respond to what you just said, okay? I don't need you to believe me.
I don't mean me. I didn't say me. So don't respond to something I didn't say.
Fine. But here's the thing. I want the conversation to be that you have faith and I have faith, and that's what it comes down to.
Our faith is based more on scientific fact. Scientists have been doing this for years. Your church, for years and years, has just been using faith, and recently is twisting around. Well, whatever
you do,
has been twisting around scientific fact for its own purposes. DNA. All of a sudden now the church is talking DNA,
exactly,
and fossils and.
Organized, or whatever.
Whatever it is.
You know what he's talking about.
It's your faith is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you going to church. Who cares about that? I'm talking about recently the church, religion, whatever you want to call it, is using scientific fact and twisting it to its own purposes.
Because they can't ignore it anymore.
They
can't
refute it. They can't. That's not true. Of
course it's true.
Secular circles, a lot of people that get into science, biology, and I know some biologists that are like this. They get into the field because they want to disprove that God exists right from the get-go. Now, there are plenty of scientists out there that are from the other side. Now, you have not listened to these people because generally the shows and the places that you get your information from are places that run in secular circles. But a lot of times they have to change their theories because they find something that disproves their theories. They found a civilization in Japan that predates the pyramids, and it's thrown everybody into a tizzy where they can't explain the breakdown, which is what you talked about.
Dude, hold on. If they found a civilization that predates the pyramids,
of course
I think there were civilizations that predated the pyramids. I don't think that's a big shock. There was Neanderthal civilizations and Cro-Magnon and little things like that. I don't think
there
that's
were civilizations in China during the
Cro-Magnon is a theory. There's no evidence of Cro-Magnon man.
Oh, is there? What about ancient tools and things like arrowheads and things that the cave paintings, things that they used Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal.
Neanderthal man, so it's a shots at the missing link. They had never found any.
Not missing link. No, they have bones. They have skeletal remains of the Neanderthal man. Yes, they do. They do.
They don't have any fossils
that were found around. They're simple tools that they used to.
Look that up because they
holy shit!
You're denying
there are skeletal remains.
If you want to believe that exists, go ahead, but it doesn't exist.
You can't believe it because it kills your theory, dude.
Wow.
It destroys your entire belief system.
That's not true.
You're saying you don't think that they have bones.
It comes down to faith.
No, you've never seen in museums a skull of a Cro-Magnon man that was found around tools that he used. That's a rumor?
It's absolutely a rumor.
I've seen them. I've seen them. I have not. I was in the museum. I was in the Museum of Natural History here in New York, one of the biggest, like the premier museum of natural history. What is it? What was I looking at?
What was he looking at?
What was I looking at?
Some kind of art project that someone made.
Sometimes they do that. They had a big farce with
paper mache, right?
The big farce.
It's paper mache from a third grade.
So it's a lie. So those bones that are pawed over by scientists that visit the museum, take these bones out, study them, do carbon dating on them. That's all a big conspiracy.
The scientists are part of the conspiracy.
Then what is it?
Let's get Jesse Ventura.
Then what's the museum displaying if I saw Neanderthal man bones?
It's just what Jim said before. It comes down to faith. It's where you start. When scientists get into their field, a lot of times...
What is it that he's looking at?
What was I looking at?
Stop with your theories. What is it?
What was I looking at?
I'm telling you that there's been a lot of different times where there's been people that have produced bones. It just ends up being a giant farce. It ends up being a ridiculous thing that they just took some other bone and they put stuff together.
No, we understand those.
Wow.
I've seen those. They're hoixes.
So you're admitting it.
Yes. I've seen some hoaxes, but I'm not saying the Neanderthal. That's fact. They found them in little communities of bones with simple tools around them in excavation sites. They've found this.
Right, and we already talked about DNA and how you can prove that there was only one person between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago.
It's nonsense.
No,
it's nonsense.
That's crazy.
You just keep hanging on to that.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
You believe what you want to believe. That's fine.
I'm listening to you. It's nonsense what you're saying.
I believe that's ridiculous. The point of my call is just to say that it's faith on both sides, and you want to believe.
Tell yourself whatever you want.
No. It's faith on your side.
No,
it's science on our side.
You believe that?
It's science. It's backed up with science. You're using science to try to back up your side of it. We're using science to uncover the truth. Fact.
You're not even using science, man. You couldn't add the virus question.
I gave you two laws of physics in the beginning. That
no, you didn't give me laws of physics. You didn't give me laws of physics.
So the chaos proof means nothing.
It's amazing.
The law of thermodynamics says that you can't get matter. You can't create matter from energy means nothing.
No, it's a big farce created by some crazy scientist.
Big
farce. It's really selective what you believe in science. And
it's been disproven.
And you think that scientists all over the world are collaborating.
Let me give you your answer. No.
You seem to think that all scientists. This is why, by the way, people can't stomach religious people.
Yep.
Because you talk over everybody.
I'm not religious.
Whatever you are. Whatever you are.
You are. You don't even know you are? If you believe this drivel, you are.
You try to label me into a religious circle, and then as soon as I say that I'm not religious, you change it.
But you believe this drivel, so you have to be.
You want to call it drivel? That's fine.
It's shit, dude. Your belief system is shit.
All right, Scott.
One, so you guys win because you get the yell louder than I do in call.
You've talked over everybody. You wouldn't even. You know what? You little rude cunt. You wouldn't even say hello when you got on the phone. You were so hyped up. I said hi to you twice. Fuck you.
Call me a rude cunt.
Because I said hi to you twice.
You're a rude cunt.
I said hi to you twice.
Anywhere. I'm giving you.
It's because you didn't start with a hi.
Dude, I said hello to you twice. Keep babbling. Keep babbling. Keep babbling, Scott.
All right. Thank you, Scott. All right, Scott.
Keep babbling.
Thank you.
Neanderthals are a big ruse. What a dummy.
I blame the fucking Flintstones.
But again, that's what you deal with.
Yeah, how does he explain that?
Irrational fucking his belief system is so tied. You keep yelling at the radio. I know he's yelling at his radio.
Yeah.
No, wait. Do you know how many girls he probably could have fucked if he wouldn't have been such a dummy?
Are you yelling at?
I guarantee you, I've done better with women than you've ever had in your life.
Oh, wow. Shit!
Now you're all right.
Shit.
Okay.
Out of everything you've said, that fact is the worst.
I'll give you the Neanderthal argument if you don't delude yourself into thinking that. The prostitutes count?
For you, maybe.
I know, stupid. That was the joke.
Oh my God!
All right, Scott, you got Jimmy with that one.
Yeah, good one, Scott.
I don't know what to tell you on that.
You listen to the right show.
Very good.
You got it.
I've done better with girls than you ever have. Good one. Good one.
Let's go to Steve in Michigan. Steve.
Hey guys,
Hey.
I just gotta say, a douche like this drives me nuts.
He's a douche.
I'm a Christian. We don't have all the answers. None of these guys have the answers. Who knows? God could have invented evolution. Why can't they just admit they don't know and just have whatever faith?
Yeah, why couldn't a greater entity, a great power, God, whatever you want to call it, have put in place the makings for evolution? And then knowing that cells will divide, viruses will divide, things will adapt and become other things. Why can't that be part of the grand plan?
I'm a fan that God was a scientist. I like that theory. The greatest scientist of all time.
Yes.
Or why
not?
Why does God have to be a
not?
slave to a 7-day work week? Why does God have to? Why does a 24-hour? Why are fucking religious people such literal irritants where they think that 24 hours has to be what God meant by a day instead of realizing it could have been symbolic?
God's day is probably one of our millions of years.
Exactly.
The definition could have been very different.
Yeah.
But they hang on to that literally.
All right, Steve. Thank you, sir.
Literally. No, God meant 24 hours. Because God has what? Does he use military time or regular time?
Yeah.
Megan in D.C. Megan.
And with the whole universe, he just uses Earth's rotation around the sun as his time base.
Of course he does.
That's God's stopwatch.
Of course he does.
It's the Earth going around the sun. Never mind, like Pluto going around the sun, or some other planet, or the universe itself.
Or Jupiter for 10 hours, a 10-hour rotation.
How self-centered to think you're the one God bases everything on.
It really is a self-obsession to think that this creator of the universe really has exactly 24 hours a day period.
Yeah.
What do you think the rest of the stuff out there is, besides a big rumor, obviously?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think a light year is?
It's far.
Oh, what children?
He created the universe, right? Not just Earth. All right, let's go to Megan in D.C. Megan.
You're right, children.
Hey, guys, I have got a cold, so I'm not going to sound that good.
Oh.
This guy is so infuriating. I don't even know where to start. First of all, one of his main points, he's using... If he has no faith in science, why is he using the law of physics to back up the main point about energy?
Yeah, because they have ran out of answers to science. They've run out of just being able to say, well, that's your opinion, because science has become so good at proving things that now they use the science that evolutionists use to promote creationism because they have no other choice. So they take it all half-assed, twist it around, and use it for their own purposes.
Because for years, religion just completely flew in the face of science.
Right.
And then they started to look so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so stupid that they had to do. It's almost like addressing. And I know this guy's saying who called in said he was not religious, so I'm not going to say he's a Christian or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he believes he's not. Fine. Maybe he's not. But like for years they denied the sexual abuse, and then they finally had to address it.
Right.
This is they denied what science said, and then they finally had to address it because they realized how stupid they looked.
Yeah.
And they did look stupid, and they still do.
All right, Megan.
6,000 years.
Science, but they're just 500 years behind the time because he's still trying to use science to say that we shouldn't trust science.
Yeah, he did try to make that argument. But what about mummies, too? Can't we prove that mummies are pretty fucking
carbon
old?
dating, they're 500 years old.
Carbon dating's a guess. Is it a guess, really? Do you know the science behind carbon dating? It's not exact. They can't narrow it down to, the nearest tens of years for the most part. But as far as millions of years go, yeah, they get a pretty good fucking hit on that. Pretty sweet range.
All right, Megan, thank you. Hey, the Christians are checking in. We got Eric in Ohio. Eric, sorry.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hi. Hey. You're speaking for a lot of Christians right now. Go ahead.
No, don't put that on me. Hey, I'm a Christian with a lot of questions, and this guy's a nutcase. He's You know, I probably don't fit in real well at any church because I have the same questions you guys have. You know, I have faith, but I also have faith in science. So, you know, I don't just turn a blind eye to it and go, oh, no. You know, that guy's an idiot.
I think
the rest of us look like idiots.
He was a twat. The minute he got on the phone, it's weird. When you say hi to somebody twice and they just barrel into it, the guy's a twat. And I know you're listening, and that's why I hated you more than any reason.
And I think part of the faith is the fact of knowing that, look, I don't have all the answers, but I have faith. I have enough faith that I don't need all the answers. These guys now are trying to come up with answers. Like, you could just say, my faith tells me that there is a God. I don't believe in evolution. I believe in creationism. I can't tell you why. It's just my faith. I'll accept that. I'll fucking accept that. But don't try to then take the science and come up with the answers that your whole faith base is that you don't have the answers. That's why it's called faith.
But again, I think that people who are creationists got so sick of looking like assholes in every debate with somebody who had science that they had to come in and shoehorn all this stuff in, and it's just nonsensical.
I cannot believe he would not accept the fact that Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon man bones were found in family settings with groups of people around tools, arrowheads, cutting tools, hides, just whatever was preserved with them, depending on where they were, the weather, mud, ice, whatever it is. They found these people.
He just has to believe that people are special. And that's what a lot of that is. It's this self-obsession with, you're not. You know what you are? You're a fucking lump of ooze that took billions of years to develop into mediocrity. Yeah. That's what you are. Sorry, pal. That's what you are.
Wow, did you just summarize that?
Is it. Right.
Sorry about that, but you know what? The sun doesn't revolve around us. We revolve around it.
You're trying to say we're not that important, Jimmy?
We're fucking lumps of mediocrity. That really is it.
And that's why we distract ourselves at
sacks of goo
all the time.
And it doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. It really doesn't, to me, mean that. I just don't think our idiotic interpretation of what the Creator is correct.
Right, not yet anyway.
I'm not self-obsessed enough to think that when you look into it's space dust, which is they say, you know, to say 12 billion light years or 10 billion light years from here, that whoever made all of this said 24 hours, let me stick these things that are 5'8" that look just like me on this wonderful place. Will you shut the fuck up? And we'll throw dinosaurs to run around with them and then die off and I'll flood. Shut up. No, you won't.
Yeah, the big flood. Why didn't they think the dinosaurs were worthy of the ark? Were they too big?
I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe that's why the flood was, to get rid of all those pests. Maybe dinosaur shit was too difficult to clean up out of the streets when they were going to visit the Lord's house.
And did one guy build a boat and put 2 animals of every kind on it?
He probably got 30 animals. He's probably some nut. I bet you Noah was a hoarder. I bet you half the animals were dead. And I bet animal shit and all this weird stuff and little cat carcasses.
Hoarder.
All right, why don't we take a break? We got lots to do today.
Damn, man.
No, he made us look just like him.
That's a hell of a way to start
big
the show.
Big white beard. God's a big white guy with a big white beard.
Hey, they got museums and everything where you got fucking dinosaurs with saddles on them and, you know, because people rode dinosaurs.
Yeah, they rode dinosaurs. Could you imagine the American Museum of Natural History? You walk in and that giant T-Rex that's in the lobby
has a saddle on it. The Creation Museum has just that.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in. A dinosaur with a saddle on it to prove that, you know, man walked with dinosaurs.
I would love to believe that. I really would. I would love that guy, as much as I disliked him personally, to be right.
Does the Catholic Church believe in all that?
I don't know. The guys in the Vatican are way too smart to buy that nonsense.
Right.
They're smart dudes at that level. I don't know. You know, they may argue it, but I don't think they would argue it as vehemently as him, because I think that they understand it's more like a business at this point.
All right.
I don't know how they would handle that.
I'm on ChristianAnswers.net.
Okay.
And they ask the question, did Noah take dinosaurs on the ark?
Yeah.
And it says that the Bible does not list the names of every creature on the ark.
Oh.
So dinosaurs must have been included.
Yeah, dinosaurs are there.
And it says right here, there's evidence. It says there's evidence that dinosaurs lived after the flood. For instance, Job saw Behemoth after the flood.
And what's that Genesis concert?
There's evidence right there.
Is that a Genesis concert?
No, that's from Genesis.
That was June 19th and 20th. Have you seen? Did you see him this summer?
Job saw the fuck Job.
It says Job saw Behemoth after the flood. Behemoth.
It's probably a chick he fucked. Some fatty.
I think I fucked her too.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, she's Facebooked me many times.
The Ark was a very large ship designed especially by God for its important purpose. It was so large and complex that it took Noah 120 years to build.
Of course it did.
Noah used this time to warn people about the flood and convince them to turn to God and be saved with his family.
Because as everybody knows, long ago, you lived longer.
Oh, yeah, 120 years was nothing, mere bag of shit.
Noah's teeth must have been a disaster. It's hard to keep your teeth in these times. I mean, his teeth must have been awful after 90 or 100 years.
He had bad breath?
Noah had horrible breath.
Unbelievable.
All right, why don't we break? We got lots to do today. A lot of guests coming in and blah, blah, blah. But first, this.
See, religious people are just fucking stupid. There's how the world was created, which everyone, scientists and rational thinking people believe, and that's the Big Bang Theory, and then evolution kicked in. There's little microorganisms made like a tadpole, and then that tadpole learned how to walk or something, and then there was some animals in between, and then fucking monkeys, and then us. And that's science. Then there's how religious people believe it was created, and that's creationism. They believe that God put two white people in the jungle without sunscreen, and they fucked, and now we got people. And we got black people, Arab people, Oriental people, and for the amount of inbreeding, very few retards. It seems so plausible. See, the fact is that there's evolution in the Bible, right? Jesus was 4'7". 4'7". He was a normal-sized guy. Everyone was short back then. We're all taller now because of evolution. That's how Jesus could feed the people with 2 fish. Little fucking people, big fuck-off fish. So this is Jesus here, right? He's a little tiny Arab Jew. He looks like Super Mario. Now, if Jesus is this big, that means his cross was maybe that big. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than Jesus. But if I was on that little cross, my feet would be on the ground and I'd fucking live. So what killed Jesus cannot kill me. I am way more powerful. Not only would I live, but I would lift the cross out of the ground and beat up all the little Roman bastards. And history would be very different. Thousands of years before Jesus, there was a guy called Noah. And Noah built a boat. And Noah lived to be 950 years old. But they never mention that in sermons because we might think it's bullshit. And Noah was thousands of years before Jesus. So Noah's about this big. There's little Noah with his long hair and his great big beard. He looks like a glorified chess piece. And he built a boat, and they put all the animals on the boat, and we had 2 of each animal, and he lived in like Afghanistan back when it was a God-loving place. And all the animals came and they all swam there and shit. They all made it there in like a week, all the kangaroos and all that type of stuff. Then he worked out some type of refrigeration system to keep the polar bears cold and the lions hot. And he made the door on the ark very small so that the dinosaurs couldn't get in because he was a thinker. Then he had storage areas for all their delicate diets, because we all know what picky fucking eaters pandas are. Aren't pandas a bunch of cunts? I'm done with pandas, and I'll tell you why, right? Every fucking living creature loves pandas. The panda doesn't have a natural predator on the planet, and they're dying out because they're fucking dicks. them. Let them die out. The pandas don't fuck each other, therefore they don't have babies, therefore we've got no fucking pandas. They're dead weight. Let's lose the fucking pandas. We've tried. We have fucking tried. We, the human race, put pandas in cages together and try to help them fuck, but they don't. We go, there's a panda, go fuck the panda. And they just look at each other. You put me in a cage with anything. Anything. And after a week, I'll fuck it. Do you think pandas know they're Chinese and they're taking the one-child policy too serious?
Opie and Anthony, mornings. Ron and Fez, middays. On the Virus. Sirius XM.
Checking out Opie and Anthony. Busy show today. Bill Burr coming in at 8 o'clock. Ginger Lynn at 8 o'clock. Have we ever had Ginger Lynn on?
No, she's a legendary adult film actress, though. Good to have her.
And know who's a fan of Ginger Lynn? Mick Foley, who will also be here today. And Chris Morris from that fine film, Four Lions, that some of us checked out last night. Good flick.
I have to plug something before I forget.
Sure.
My Raw Dog show today is on at 4 p.m. And we've been promoting it on Raw Dog. And I interview Baba Booey for his book.
What?
It was actually it was a good interview. We talked for like 45 minutes.
Was he cool?
Really cool guy. Yeah, it was a very easy interview. I figured he'd be probably good. He's been on radio a long time.
I checked out his Letterman appearance. He did a very good job on Letterman.
Yeah, I heard it was great.
He actually killed. He killed on Letterman.
So that's on today at 4 on Raw Dog. And
you're talking to Baba Booey. Wow.
Yeah, but it was...
we're not supposed to get along with that show at all.
It was very pleasant and very Did
you have a fist fight afterwards?
Yeah, we duked it out.
Man.
And then I'll be in Poughkeepsie the 19th and 20th, I think, of this month. So come on out, because I have some special gifts in way of jokes. That's what I call my jokes now. I call them special gifts.
Speaking of jokes, you turned me on to the Joan Rivers movie. I saw it last night. What the fuck? You got to see this movie if you're into stand-up comedy.
Documentary.
It was downright depressing. 76 years old. Well, 75 when the documentary was made, and she's still trying to make it. She's trying to make it, and talking about how she's rejected on a daily basis for projects and acting roles and this and that. And they show her like, doing a gig in Wisconsin and getting to the hotel at 3 in the morning and telling the person behind the desk, "Don't wake me until 6." 75-year-old woman getting 3 hours sleep after flying all night so she could do a gig and press for the gig.
Wow.
Fuck that. It was, wow. She seems like she's not a happy person.
No.
She seems like her life is missing something. There's a big hole in her heart.
Edgar. It's missing my Edgar.
I don't even know if it's Edgar, because you learn that she met Edgar and married him 4 days later.
Yeah, huh?
So what's that about? Why did she need a husband so bad?
I don't know.
That's
and then Edgar, kills himself after the whole Fox thing went bad because he blamed himself because Fox wanted Joan Rivers to fire her own husband as the producer of the show. It's an unbelievable documentary,
and she really hates Carson too. Like Johnny was a weird, like a motherfucker, man.
Well, she was on the show for 20 years, and she finally had a chance to step out and do her own show. And Johnny thought, she was
competing with him.
Yeah, well, obviously, but and a loyalty thing that he believed in. So Joan Rivers calls Johnny Carson, tells him, she's leaving, and Carson hung up on her. And then she called back like, "What the fuck is that about?" And he hung up on her again and never talked to her again.
And she said she called after his son died. I think his son Chris. One of his sons died in a Jeep accident or something.
Yeah.
I think she called to offer condolences or something, and he never called her back. He was a tough guy, man. Like,
yeah,
what a prick. Yeah.
Did you see the wall of jokes she had? Like, she had a card catalog, almost like you're in a library.
Yeah.
And it's a whole wall of all the jokes she's written over the years. Every time she has a joke, she makes sure she gets it on a card and puts it away for safekeeping.
And that to me is a lifetime of doing that. Whereas now, on a computer, because she said she has like people who put them on a computer for her.
Yeah.
But now on a computer, you write your jokes, and literally you go into your Finder in Mac and you click a keyword, and you got all the jokes you've written about that subject.
I know she's
thumbing through cards.
She's so old school, though.
I know she's a multimillionaire and all that, but I just felt sad for her by the end of the documentary. Just felt sad.
I felt sad for her self-perception. Like, not for her because she's still rich and she's still always going to sell tickets and she's a legend. I felt it almost is like she doesn't seem to understand who she is, like as far as how important she is in comedy. She's the fucking greatest, man. I don't know how anybody can not like Joan Rivers. I watched her do stand-up. It was an hour of the edgiest fucking material I have ever seen a comedian do. And that was about 3 years ago. My girlfriend and I at the time went to see her at the Cutting Room. It was 100 people. That's all she would do. It was a small room to work on her act. Fucking brutal.
Yeah, she kills.
Brutal material.
But as a person, man, wow. You really learn about her. Yeah, she was doing an anal sex joke in this documentary.
9/11 material.
You don't want to hear
brutal.
You don't want to hear a 75-year-old female comic doing an anal sex joke, but it worked. I was laughing my balls off.
Yeah, she's really funny.
But then you had a picture that she's taking it in the shitter. Oh my god. But
she's harsh.
I highly recommend it. It's on demand right now.
What's it called?
I don't even know. Shit, I should have wrote it down. I don't know.
I know, I'm annoyed that I don't remember it either.
There's something else about the movie I wanted to say really fast, and I forgot. Well,
let me see. I'll just Google it.
Google it. Google it.
I like documentaries.
You should check this one out. It's really good, man.
I can't believe I don't know what it's called. I'm looking at it. I mean, I should Google documentary.
I'm looking at it.
Let's see. Carbon dating is fake. All right, good point. Asshole. Is it called A Comic's Life?
Whatever. They'll find it.
A piece of work.
A piece of work, right?
Danny had it up in 2 seconds.
Well, isn't Danny just better than everybody?
2 seconds.
Isn't Danny just hot tamales?
She says she hates looking at herself without the makeup on. So basically, when she wakes up in the morning, that's the first thing she does. She immediately puts her makeup on, whether she does it herself or has someone in the house doing it for her. The documentary starts with her just without makeup on. Did you? I
don't remember that part.
You don't remember?
No.
That's how it just opens.
Like?
It didn't.
Pretty bad.
It wasn't pretty, man.
Pretty gruesome.
It wasn't pretty.
But she's so funny. I don't care what she looks like. Like, I wouldn't care if she never had work done and just looked like she was almost 80. It's like, who gives a fuck? You're Joan Rivers. Who cares what you look like?
You know what she hates? When female comics come up to her and say, "You opened the doors for us." And she's like, "Fuck you, bitch. I'm still opening doors." But the people look at her as like, "You opened."
Yeah.
And she takes that personally.
As like it's a final statement.
Like, yeah, exactly. And she feels like she's still doing it.
Opened the door makes you feel like, hey, look, you're in the past, and this is what you did, and we've taken over. But it's like, open the doors. You're still performing.
Yeah.
But you happen to be doing it before any of us were, and she did.
Right. She really should do our show.
She's a little sensitive.
She should do our show. Especially after we've seen this documentary. My God, they humanized Joan Rivers.
She's the greatest, man. I would love to fucking talk to her for a long period of time.
And this guy says, JD, he writes, Joan Rivers lives in a haunted apartment in New York City. Have Danny look up celebrity ghost stories. It's pretty fucked up.
Oh, really?
That show looks like bullshit.
Celebrity
ghost stories.
Oh, really? That's a show?
Come on, Aunt, be fun.
Yeah.
You believe in the ghosts?
No.
Ghosts.
Ghosts.
I certainly do, Gregory.
Yeah.
They're frightening.
What are frightening?
Ghosts. I don't like spooks.
Yes, they can be very scary.
I hate when spooks are in my house. They're frightening.
Very scary.
Yes,
indeed.
they are, Anthony. They make all kinds of weird noises. I don't understand their terminology.
You want the story of the day already? Do you want the story of the day?
I'm trying to think if I know it.
Let's get it out of the way because we got a lot of people coming in today. Yeah, this is an amazing story. Cardi, is that your name? He's calling from Australia.
Cody, C-O-D-Y.
Okay, what do you got, brother? Listen to this one.
Cody, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Hey, no.
No.
If you think Brett Favre's pretty bad, one of our top footballers over here, we have this thing called Mad Monday.
Over here?
And it's pretty much
Mad Monday?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, can I go down?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Like how you.
It's pretty much when a football team over here underperforms, the club lets them just go wild for one day. And it usually ends up in, I don't know, like a gang rape or a taxi being stolen and burnt. But one player today took the cake, and if I'm sure you got the image there in front of you. He's literally letting a dog blow him.
Blow him?
There it is.
Check out.
This is your story of the day, and I guess.
Oh my God!
I guess he's a big-time football star in Australia, right?
How fucking great is that?
That is
one of our all-stars.
Is he?
He's one of the all-stars. So picture A-Rod. Picture, I don't know, I guess Brett Favre doing that. Instead of just...
It's like Brett Favre feeding his minuscule penis into a dog's mouth.
Is that the dog sucking it or licking it? Is he just being a goof?
He's getting head from a dog.
Every now and then, but...
hey, someone tweet me that picture. I'll retweet that one.
He's getting blown.
Please.
Yeah, I'm sure Twitter won't have a problem with that. A guy getting blown by a dog.
Yeah, right.
It depends on what fucking
bestiality
picture site you use.
I manage a bar, and people were like going, "That's really disgraceful." And I go, "I know, the dog doesn't even have oven mitts on."
Yeah, no safety.
Wow, that's great.
I think we got lost in translation there, though. I don't understand why this is going down. It sounds like this type of thing happens every year. Some crazy thing.
Yeah, as I said, like never this crazy, but like it's our football. Like we give our sporting stars a lot of leeway. And this is kind of where we draw the line.
Hey, is he? Do you think his career's over?
Oh, absolutely. There's another link here where it's pretty much like he's in counselling. His managers won't answer any phone calls.
Yeah, why counselling?
Was he trying to be funny, or was he really getting off, or was he just doing it to be a goof?
It's no worse than what Michael Vick was doing. With dogs.
I know. At least this guy's fucking.
I don't know, maybe,
at least the dog's getting a treat.
Give him a tasty treat.
Right. And gets to live at the end of it.
Maybe he got bit by a snake or a spider and the dog's just getting the poison out.
Yeah.
That too. Could happen there.
Or maybe somebody dropped their peanut butter sandwich in his lap and the dog was helping clean the mess.
The guy doesn't need counseling, though.
I don't know. I may disagree with you on that one. He's a dog licking his cock and balls.
Yeah, and he's holding the dog's collar.
He's doing it for the fucking goof.
Is he?
I saw footage, by the way, yesterday of two pit bulls eating a guy who was alive. I'm wondering, somebody's filming it, and I'm wondering if it was a drug punishment.
Has to be. Why wouldn't the cameraman help?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the cameraman was just filming it, and there's two pits around the guy. I'm like, that has to be
a
drug punishment. Yeah,
yeah, it has to be.
It has to be.
Can I read you? Can I read you the statement from his manager and himself?
Absolutely.
Oh, what did his
Absolutely.
manager say?
Sure.
Okay, cool. This is from our Daily Press, and he goes, sorry, just 1 second. Okay, cool. Joel wants to make it clear that he was the one playing a prank on an absent teammate by stimulating the act. There are no words of explanation that can be offered because none can be appropriate. Joel now has to face his family as well as his fans and supporters with the shame that he's already undergone counselling to help him cope with the consequences of his misguided actions. It was a moment of abject stupidity brought about by too much drink and a complete lack of thought process. The fact that someone has thought to compound the situation further by the use of social media only adds to the trauma.
Who tweeted it?
That his act. Sorry?
Who
took the picture?
Yeah, who tweeted it?
Well, as I said, like we have this thing in Australia where when a team kind of bows out, they get the Mad Monday. So it was one of his teammates.
From at Rover.
Yeah, the dog did it.
Yeah, the dog tweeted it.
What's his name, buddy? Joel what?
Joel Monahan.
Monahan, there it is on the screen, Jimmy.
Mr. Monahan. I'm blowing a dog, Mr. Monahan.
He apologises unreservedly for the outrage that people feel at the moment and blames nobody but himself. He will meet the club over the issue and accepts that he must accept the ramifications. Basically, his career is over.
Yeah.
He was just trying to get outrageous in front of his teammates, and if you snap a picture like that, of course you got to tweet it. Of course you have to.
That's a fucking getting caught with a dog blowing you is a really rough one.
That's bad.
That's a rough one. Like I'm all like, this is the case where you probably should be apologizing and explaining. When there's a photo Of a dog sucking your dick? You owe people an explanation.
Yes. What were you thinking?
This is not a... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Australia's a fairly small country.
Yeah.
And, like, pretty much wherever you go, coast to coast, people are going to know who you are.
Yeah.
And, like, his family are never going to know my son, the famous football player, knows my son, the guy that got blown by a dog.
Well,
does he have a rod in that picture?
Can't tell.
Really
Is there only one photo?
Yeah. Selfish. Oh, there's a couple?
Yeah. Well, that's a great story out of Australia today, sir. Very nice.
That's today?
Thank you for the international news.
Doing us proud.
Wow. What day?
What kind of dog is it?
A good one.
That was a perfect.
Very nice. All right, Gardy. Thank you, sir.
Cheers, Cody.
Cheers.
Cody.
Thanks, buddy.
Cody.
Cheers.
All right, Cody. There goes Cody with the story of the day for the world.
Yeah, that's a.
But we don't even know that guy whatsoever. But they know him in Australia.
No, see, we're very self-centered here.
Sure.
We know our sports stars and everything,
And that's it.
Yeah, that's all we need.
The guys are very disturbed because Derek made a production piece about Stevie's mom. Stevie's mom's still on our radar here on the Opie and Anthony show. Blind Stevie's mom.
She didn't want to leave, man.
She didn't want to leave. Troy did that
out.
nice dirty dance for her, and I think she might have been interested at the end of the
And then
day.
when she was leaving the studio, she was like, "Can I take this?" and grabbed that giant dildo we gave her.
Oh, yeah.
She took that home. God, how many times did she use that already, you think?
Well, let's get her on the phone and ask her.
Smashing that thing into her. Fuck. Yeah.
But Derek came up with this, and supposedly the guys have only heard it once, and they don't want to hear it ever again or something.
Oh,
Derek,
really?
well, I voiced it, and I guess I didn't realize how creepy it was coming off until it was all put together, and then when I heard the finished product, I was like, it made me extremely uncomfortable yesterday.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
All right, let's check it out.
As the young intern pulled into the driveway, he knew Troy would enjoy the surprise he had waiting for him. It had been years since the boy's parents divorced, and his mother's weekly sex parties were beginning to spiral out of control. Slowly, he had watched them grow from 1 to over 5 sex partners. He had to put an end to it. He wanted a father, and he believed he had found that in Troy. The door opened, and the gangbang was in full swing.
Whoa! Stop it! Knock it off! Stop giggling, Mom!
It's fun. They don't need it.
Stevie immediately felt embarrassed. He wanted his mother's lifestyle to change. The group sex and latex parties had gone on far too long.
I'm trying to defend you. Can I help you out?
All of a sudden, to Stevie's surprise, his guest interrupted.
You know, she looks like she's down for a good time. Looks like she wants to have some fun.
Hearing this, Stevie's mom threw herself into a frenzy and slowly began to crawl over to Troy on the floor. She wanted to be fucked hard, and Troy knew.
Well, I'm not his tattoos, but Troy's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
All right.
Stevie warned his mother.
Do you know what Troy is capable of? He's out of his mind. I'll deliver the goods. Don't worry. I'll give her what she needs.
Troy was ready.
Let's do it. Let's hook it up. Let's get into it. Come on, let's get into it.
Oh my God, Troy has the V.
Troy spread her shaved hole open and shoved his cock deep inside her.
Oh, yeah. Troy's yeah. That's hot.
Look at him. He's out of his freaking mind.
Troy abruptly pulled his throbbing rod out and rubbed it up and down on the intern's mother's swollen clit.
Yeah. Just teasing a little. Yeah.
Stevie could feel nothing but shame for his whore mother.
He's messing with my mom.
I'm trying to have a good time, Stevie. What the fuck?
He wanted her to stop desperately, but she was lost in a sea of testosterone, and her cervix was being pummeled like Joe Frazier.
I'm trying to help you out, Mom, and you're just making me look bad.
Harder and harder, Troy pounded his mother.
Stop giggling, Mom!
Troy's ecstasy had reached the point of no return. Stevie's mother, sensing this, quickly outreached her tongue to accept his viscous seed.
Troy, you better be kidding or I'll kick your ass.
Stevie said, but he knew Troy wasn't.
Yeah!
Troy exploded all over Stevie's mother's face.
Yeah, there it is! Not on my mom! No.
Cum was dripping everywhere.
There's plenty more where that came from, too, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, he's all man.
She was now just another Long Island cum junkie, and everybody knew it. He decided, if you can't beat them, join them.
And then Stevie fucked his mom.
Holy
That's so wrong.
That is reprehensible.
That is awful.
Oh my
At least it doesn't go on too long, you know?
Oh, no, it does.
Come on, that's funny as
That's
fuck.
great, dude.
That's all
really
right,
great.
man. Very good. Very good. Hey, getting back to Joan Rivers really fast. Ronnie B interviewed us about this documentary.
I think we couldn't get her. She did Howard, and I think that she's.
So, you know, we have the hour between our show and Ron and Fez. Why don't we replay that interview today? Can we look into that, see if that's possible? All right. Because that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I think she's great.
Huh?
I love her, man. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has no idea I exist.
Really?
No.
That's kind of sad.
No, it's fine. She's a legend.
You've seen her?
I've met her a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I met her and then shot myself, she'd be like, I never saw this person before. Wouldn't that be funny if I killed myself in front of Joan Rivers? I love you.
No.
It would be
funny.
Hilarious.
It kind of would be hilarious.
Tragic, I think.
There'd be some tragedy in there, but it would also be hilarious.
My girlfriend would be like, what happened? What'd you do? What's wrong with him? She's old. He's not going to fuck her.
What's up with Ozzy?
He's a
mutant.
He's a mutant, they're saying.
Yeah, he is
what
a.
does that mean? He's going to live forever?
He's going to have he's a long life. That's how he survived so long. He has Neanderthal in him. It was a $40,000 DNA test. I found out how much it cost. 40 G's. And a very, very.
Just to find out if you're going to live longer?
Just to find out that he comes from one guy who hung out with a dinosaur 6,000 years ago.
Yes. He's like one of the X-Men.
What do you mean?
He's a mutant.
What does this mean?
His genes
and how many people
are,
have
like,
this?
Crazy.
Don't know.
He's impervious.
But he survived so much.
But what? I don't get it still.
Well, his genes.
Aren't we all related to the Neanderthals?
I guess not as directly as he is.
He's like Wolverine.
I don't know.
He's like Wolverine. He could fucking heal real easy. He's got adamantium body, like a skeleton.
What?
Don't drink, don't smoke. Adamantium?
No, not that adamantium.
This thing.
Why does he have this and most people don't? Is that what they're saying?
Because he's Ozzy. Comes from bat blood.
What?
But you got to drink it fresh right out of the head.
Wasn't it a dove?
And a bat.
And a bat.
Yeah, someone threw a bat on stage and he thought it was fake.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
it was stunned by the light. He said that was stunned by the light.
Stunned by the
I'd
light.
pick it up thinking it was a rubber bat.
It just ripped its head off?
What a great story.
The dove he knew was a dove.
Yeah.
They brought him into
I
rough.
know. That was in the record.
The pictures of that are great. The horrified woman, Ozzy with the little dribble of blood coming down his lip. The fucking dove body.
I imagine that was one of the larger arguments with Sharon.
Yeah, it's probably one of the
She couldn't
biggies.
have been happy. Boy, that motherfucker knows it. No wonder that explains it, though. He's got a little bit of that vibe in him.
Yeah. Hey, you remember during Jocktober, Sam brought in a show?
The Opie and Anthony show from
The Freak
AF?
Show?
Oh.
Remember the Freak Show? And
Were they doing the fugitive?
We started to beat him up, and then they called our show.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And then we beat up Sam instead.
Oh,
yes. We should have.
This is how bad their show is. They got fucking Clinton on. Yeah, they're a horrible radio show.
We haven't tried to get Clinton on, though. And he must have been. There might have been a big election down there too.
Really?
Because Clinton's been campaigning people. Yeah.
The biggest politician we've ever had on was Jimmy McMillan, I guess.
We used to have Gary Ackerman.
Like I said, the biggest politician ever was Jimmy McMillan.
We should have tried to get Clinton on. You know what? Because with the election, we might have gotten him. Although in New York, they probably felt the Democrats didn't need help.
Yeah, they didn't need help.
But all these guys were doing
stumping.
They would
stumped their asses off.
Google. I'm sure they would Google and go like, that's probably not a good idea.
So what, they had Clinton on?
Yeah, you want to check it out? A quick clip?
Yeah, what the fuck?
All right, we know these guys.
He wasn't in studio?
They're friends of the show, the Freak Show.
Was he on the phone?
Yeah, I would assume.
President Clinton on the phone with the Kiss Morning Freak Show, Mikey and Big Bob.
Hello.
Now, I also got to ask you, because this is kind of happening soon, within the next few days. How excited are you for rapper Lil Wayne to get out of jail this week?
I tell you what I think about that. I know this is kind of a funny question for you to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, my daughter introduced me to rap and hip-hop music after I said some things she thought were not very smart. She said, Dad, you need to listen. A lot of these people are smart. This guy's smart, and he's got ability, and he's got a new chance now. And what I hope is that is it not just something to brand him as a cool guy, but that it'll never happen again to him.
Are they fucking around?
Of course they are. And I'm ashamed that I actually said we should have tried to get him. I'm ashamed.
Come on.
Of course they're fucking around. The thing is,
wait, but did they actually talk to Clinton?
No, they
I don't
didn't.
I don't.
George Clinton, maybe.
I don't think that's Clinton.
Oh, you don't even think that's Clinton?
No. Oh, I do.
No, that's Clinton.
I think that's Clinton because he didn't say any names. I think I really do think that was Clinton.
So you think they just edited it in?
Did someone get scammed?
We
kind of got scammed.
Travis is just like shaking his head.
What, Travis?
What's up, Travis?
I would maybe agree with you guys if it wasn't being reported by like everyone.
Oh, because the fucking papers and news never fall for radio gags.
Who's reporting it?
I saw it yesterday. I saw it on Yahoo. I saw it on the Daily News. I saw it on the Post.
So what?
So I would tend to believe that it actually was Bill Clinton calling into the radio show instead of them just doing.
I believe that was Clinton.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just wondering if they were talking about somebody else.
It's in the news because he was talking about Lil Wayne and the McRib and whatever.
At this point, it's like almost 2,000 sources.
That he was actually answering a question about Lil Wayne. I'm confused.
I'm calling. Again. Maybe. But it was so weird. Can we hear the next question? Maybe.
No, that's all we got. That's why it's suspicious. Wait, why is there
only one question?
Yeah, why is that all we got on that?
Well, you would have to ask Sam. He's the one who pulled it.
Let's get Sam in here immediately. Maybe there's more.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
We're usually
really good at this. I'm kind of confused. I believe they talked to Clinton, but I feel like they then maybe went into a production studio and changed it up so it makes it sound like he was talking about Lil Wayne instead of maybe a more conservative rapper.
I think it's probably real, but that's just all they posted.
Like, why wouldn't they post more of the interview?
Because they just wanted a quick little buzz clip. I'm sure the interview was mainly mundane and, promoting whatever Bill Clinton wanted to promote with the elections.
What's that? Can we hear that again? Because here's what was so weird.
The ending was weird.
He doesn't once say Lil Wayne.
Right.
It sounds like he was talking about something and they shoehorned a question around it.
Yeah,
maybe.
You want the whole thing?
Yes, please.
President Clinton on the phone with the Kiss Morning Freak Show.
And that sounds like it was done in a production studio, because that's not how you would talk to the president.
Oh, these are the guys that Opie.
Yeah, those guys are great. We like those guys.
I mean, they probably did hype up the phone call, the way they put in the Vox Pro or whatever, the way they hype up every phone call.
But there's something about the phrasing Clinton used.
I'm very suspicious.
That bothered me. It was that, it's funny that you asked that. It's almost like the way I shoehorn questions to the Alan Alda interview.
Yeah. Are they in commercials? Could they call our show? They got the number. What the hell?
Maybe it's real, but
President Clinton on the phone with the Kiss Morning Freak Show, Mikey and Big Bob.
Hello.
Now, I also got to...
That sounded like an edit there.
Come on, man. If you listen to it, he says, now I also got to ask you, which means they cut out the first part of the interview to make the YouTube clip.
Okay, all right, good point by Sam. All right.
All right.
Is it possible to have a conservative rapper?
Well,
I'm sure.
Like Will Smith.
Family friendly.
Thank you, asshole.
Will Smith.
Of course, it's possible.
Yeah,
nice.
what's up?
Remix. Listen to the whatever, and then you could hear kind of an edit in there.
President Clinton on the phone with the Kiss Morning Freak Show, Mikey and Big Bob.
Hello.
Now, I also got to ask you, because this is kind of happening soon, within the next few days. How excited are you for rapper Lil Wayne to get out of jail this week?
I tell you what I think about that. I know this is kind of a funny question for you to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, my daughter introduced me to rap and hip-hop music after I said some things she thought were not very smart. She said, Dad, you need to listen. A lot of these people are smart. This guy's smart, and he's got ability, and he's got a new chance now. And what I hope is that it's not just something to brand him as a cool guy, but that it'll never happen again to him.
I'm going to go fake.
I don't think it's fake, because if it
I'm
were
going fake.
If it were fake, they would make it funnier. Like, it's not.
How? You could only work around the clip you got.
Yeah, I think they have a clip.
They got a clip.
Because the clip, it goes on a little bit longer. I cut it down slightly for this show.
Well, can we hear the rest of the clip?
Yeah, I want to hear the whole thing because...
If you go to their website, it's on there. Just look up Bill Clinton, Lil Wayne.
Oh, you decided to cut it down.
Yeah. Well, I want to make it. Yes, I edit. Yes, for this show. Yeah.
Wouldn't you think we would want the whole clip?
He's the president. Have some respect, commie.
Well,
fucking pinko
Did it go
queer.
on for 10 minutes?
No, I just went on. That's
How much did you cut out?
Only like 30 seconds.
What's the?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Leave it.
What are we doing? This is Stretch City, this show.
I didn't realize. I was trying to make it more radio friendly. I guess I should have.
Yes, you should have.
Exactly. Let's hear the original.
And there's a if you go to their YouTube channel, there's a Jersey Shore question too to Bill Clinton.
I don't know.
Let's hear the Jersey Shore question.
Yeah.
And then make out as men.
We might not have time.
If this was fake, though, wouldn't you think that since it's everywhere, I mean, MTV, USA Today, the AP, wouldn't you think that Clinton's people would...
When did it break?
Yesterday morning.
All right,
like,
so we got some
like
time.
around noon.
We got some time for it to...
You think they're
Okay.
just...
We'll
you know,
hear this.
That's totally real.
Maybe it is.
I think so.
All right, go ahead.
President Clinton on the phone with the Kiss Morning Freak Show, Mikey and Big Bob.
Hello.
Now, I also got to ask you, because this is kind of happening
there was edits.
Soon, within the next few days. How excited are you for rapper Lil Wayne to get out of jail this week?
I tell you what I think about that. I know this is kind of a funny question for you to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, my daughter introduced me to rap and hip-hop music after I said some things she thought were not very smart. She said, Dad, you need to listen. A lot of these people are smart. This guy's smart,
weird.
and he's got ability, and he's got a new chance now. And what I hope is that it's not just something to brand him as a cool guy, but that it'll never happen again to him. I think a lot of these people, they don't get successful in that, just like any other area of life, by being really dumb. They're really smart, but a lot of them have had tough lives, and they almost think it's cool to get in trouble every now and then, or they don't know how to stay out. What I hope will happen is that he has a good life now.
We get the McRib sandwich and Lil Wayne all in 1 week and the elections.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good for people that like both.
Maybe.
I mean, it was edited the way every phone call is edited.
I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why they put the Bob and whatever they said. Because they knew it was going to get out there. That was put in there just to brand the show, I think.
Right, just so there's an intro to it.
I think that was the intro, just to get, which was smart of them guys to do. Maybe it is real. Because
suspicious.
It is suspicious because Clinton doesn't say Lil Wayne.
No.
He doesn't say Lil Wayne.
But he doesn't have to. The other guy said
Yeah,
Lil
you're right.
Wayne, so...
Yeah, I think, it's obviously edited
Lil Wayne.
the way everything's edited.
Why would
on
the guy
radio,
say we
but-
get the McRib sandwich? I guess just...
That's the big pop culture story. The McRib is back. Lil Wayne's getting out of jail.
Yeah, maybe.
And Clinton was always, always liked going to McDonald's.
He loved
That was
it.
like his big
Did he?
thing. Yeah. Bubba.
Till his
maybe true
heart issues.
You think women will still fuck him?
Who, Bubba?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
They
guy.
all want to fuck him.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, he's into black chicks.
It's amazing.
What?
Very few people could steal
think
pussy
Clinton
from Tom Cruise. I think Clinton could probably pull pussy off of Tom Cruise's lap.
He's a good talker.
He'd
He could probably
take-
fuck
He has
Stevie's
that
mom.
power thing going.
Can we get the guys on the phone?
Yeah.
The Freak Show?
Yeah, let's try to get the
To
freak
fuck
show.
Stevie's mom, all you gotta be able to do is burp.
Huh? Yeah, we're trying. All right, that's fine. I'm a little suspicious.
I was, and then hearing the rest of the clip.
You're not as suspicious?
Not as suspicious.
Possible. Why
Sure.
wouldn't
Yeah, I
it
think
be?
it's for
Where are
for
they?
real.
Where are they based?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I could
Clinton's
stand
calling
it.
a radio station in Pittsburgh.
It's weird that he's calling him, but he did.
Maybe
I mean,
who was he stumping for? Obviously, there might have been a tight election in Pittsburgh
That's what you have to look at. Was
He's-
there a really close election in Pittsburgh?
for the governor, or
Right.
yeah. I mean, Barack Obama called the Steve Harvey show and the Ryan Seacrest show and all those radio shows. They're bigger than Stupid Freak Show in Pittsburgh.
And very safe shows, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely safe shows.
And it worked so well.
No, it didn't.
I mean,
He got shellacked, as he said.
Clinton's people are going to go, hey, Bill, you're going to call a radio show called The Freak Show?
Well, I mean, it is a pretty safe show.
I got to go on record. I'm suspicious.
What
do you think, Ann?
I'm buying it.
You're buying it?
Yeah, I'm buying it.
All
I
right.
think so.
You're fucking Gary Gullible, Ant.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
It would have been wackier if it was fake.
Not necessarily. You don't want to go too crazy.
They do.
President Clinton.
Yeah, exactly.
Rocco cuts.
I just don't know.
How do you feel about the banning of the toys from the Happy Meals?
Mixed reviews.
I am so happy about that.
Why?
Very glad.
You think the government should really be involved with that shit?
Yes.
Really?
Anything to annoy the little children of the world.
Here's the story really fast. Bill, come on in. You don't have to sit out there. Bill Burr's just sitting outside there.
Bill!
He's been sitting there for like 10 fucking minutes.
I was sitting outside.
How do you want me to do? I walk in, you yell at me.
Just sitting out there. I was waiting for people to ask me to come in. I was sitting outside.
Doug, you're talking.
I was asking.
There's the
what the fuck? I was asking.
Roland?
I was asking about the history behind that Bobby Kelly picture where he's got the banana peel on his head.
Oh, he was being wacky.
Yeah,
he was being kooky.
That was wacky,
nutty.
Bobby.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hi, Bill.
How are you, sir?
How you been, Bill Burr?
Fantastic.
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
What's up,
Can't
Bill?
complain.
Always a pleasure to have
What's up,
Bill
Opie?
Burr back.
How are you? Very
Good.
official?
Good.
Very official?
Good.
Do we have things we need to discuss?
No, not really.
Okay.
What are you in town for, though?
I did.
The comedy festival?
Yeah, I did a thing last night for the troops. It was an insane thing over at the Beacon Theater. Oh, yeah. Just to try to balance it out so we can keep making money in this country. It was, just a thing for the troops, supporting the troops, one of those shows. And I had a bunch of big names on there.
Yeah.
And then myself quivering in the wings.
You do well, I'm sure.
Yeah, fortunately I did. I definitely had the freak out of, like, nobody said fuck yet.
Who was on the show?
I'm going to be that
really?
guy.
You're
All
gonna
right,
be
this
the
is
guy
the
to-
show. Jon Stewart hosted. Tony Bennett came out and sang.
What the fuck?
Bruce Springsteen.
Jesus.
Wow.
Then you got to talk to Joel McHale. Had to follow Springsteen and an auction. That's the biggest take on the beach I've ever seen in stand-up.
Wow.
He was hilarious. He was just standing there. He's like, really? Really? And but he killed, and then I got to ride his wave, and then Seinfeld closed it out.
Holy
What
shit.
the fuck, Bill?
Yeah. That was definitely one of
that's
those
a hell of a
things
show.
when I was looking at it like, what the hell am I doing here? I should
How much
be
time?
8 minutes.
Right.
8 quick minutes.
8 quick minutes, and they, The
Nice.
second you see that flashing light, you're like,
Get the
don't-
fuck
yeah,
off.
don't want to piss people off.
Seinfeld's coming on. Get off.
Hey,
That was definitely pretty cool.
You get
to-
photos?
Yeah, that's...
No, I didn't.
No?
Yeah, and I was actually talking to DeRosa about that, how I respect your unabashed, just like you... Like, everybody's got to
he
act
won't
like
care, yeah.
they don't want a picture with Tony Bennett.
Or Bruce, I got one. Springsteen.
Hold on.
I got him, too.
I'm an
That's
idiot.
right.
I'm an idiot.
Hold that thought, all right, really fast. But we got the freak show on the line here. We're discussing something. We want to get to the bottom of this. Bob and Mikey, what's up, brothers?
Hi, guys.
We're suspicious about the Clinton thing. You're going to come clean with us?
No, completely real.
Completely real. So he's talking about Lil Wayne.
I'm buying it, dude. Opie's suspicious.
I was a little
Jimmy is.
suspicious. That's why we have you on the line.
But then hearing the rest of the clip, I was like, yeah, it's probably real.
Yeah. We're the farthest thing from like a political talk show or even talking politics.
Right.
Yeah.
But our ratings are pretty good, so they want to jam these people onto our show, right?
Was there a big
To the young people.
Was there a big race in Pittsburgh that Clinton had to get involved with?
It was the governor race in Pennsylvania, so they wanted to, like, I don't know, come on and talk about their candidate or whatever like that. But, you know, we wanted to talk about, you know, just other crap because we know nothing about politics. And they emailed us at like 9 o'clock the night before, just like, oh, hey, Bill Clinton on the phone with you guys tomorrow morning. We're like, sure.
Wow, were you shitting a brick?
That's a good one.
I don't know if we had Obama on before, and he was such a robot. Like, it was just awful.
Wait, you guys talked to Obama, too?
We wanted to try to avoid all that. So we just threw Clinton, like, questions, you know, out of nowhere.
Who books your show? Can we have them?
They contact us, which is the weirdest thing, because, I mean, we don't even have a producer on our show, so we don't even know.
What the fuck?
Neither do we. Kidding, of course.
I don't know. They just contact us, and we're just like, yeah, sure,
Holy
whatever. And then we
shit.
just get on and ask them normal things, and they, like, freak out.
Right.
Were they freaking out a little bit about Lil Wayne and McRib?
I definitely don't think they thought it was going to blow up as big as it did and stuff like that. But they didn't email us back and say, you know, anything like that. They were fine with it, I guess. Yeah, Clinton was a trooper, though. He just rolled with it. I mean,
he don't care at this point.
You know, more people were talking about Bill Clinton and Lil Wayne than they were talking about the Democrats just getting, you know, their butts handed to them and stuff.
Yeah. Bill Clinton, at this point, doesn't care anyway. If you look at what he's doing and stuff, he's just enjoying himself
How
now.
long did you have him for?
We had him on for probably about 10 minutes, I would say.
It's pretty cool, man.
Damn, that is pretty good.
Congratulations to you guys. It's
That's a good
everywhere.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you, boys.
Damn.
You guys okay? You guys having fun?
Yeah, we got Bill Burr in today.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
You had Bill Clinton. We have Bill Burr. They love you, Bill.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
Have you ever been on the Freak Show in Pittsburgh?
I imagine. I have no idea. I've been on like a zillion shows at this point. I'm like this.
Bob and Mikey, have you had Bill Burr
monkey
on?
Absolutely not. No, we've never had Bill Burr on. Never been offered. He's way too fancy for us.
You don't want to bump Bill Clinton to get Bill Burr. Well, while you were talking to Bill Burr, we were talking to Bobby Lee from. He was on Mad TV years ago.
Did you ask him how he feels about Lil Wayne getting out this week?
No, he couldn't. He had his clothes off and he was humping one of the interns.
Yeah,
but
it was really awkward for everybody.
Yeah. As you're talking to Bill Clinton.
Lil Wayne question at that point.
Yeah. See, we don't know. We don't know what to do.
Well, you guys, I've never done your show.
Yeah.
You guys are on. You guys are on what station?
96.1 Kiss in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I've been there many times. I haven't done you guys, but I would like to do when I come in.
Next time you're in town, little Jimmy.
Yeah, definitely.
Find us, because I've been to your shows before, Jim.
Okay, thank you, man.
Wow, these guys get to talk to politicians.
Unless Ahmadinejad is coming on their show.
Yeah. You might get bumped for him, Jim.
Well, maybe you got to talk to the president of like Switzerland or something.
Right, Chip.
Everyone gets bumped for you, though, little Jimmy, so don't worry.
All right.
Thanks, bud. Congratulations, guys. It's great.
Yeah,
get back to your show. Congratulations, man.
Take it easy. Bye, gentlemen.
Bye. All right, the Freak Show from Pittsburgh. They talked to Clinton about the McRib and Lil Wayne.
That's a pretty good get.
That is.
Yeah, what is
They don't even have a producer, and they're getting fucking Clinton on their show.
Do you want to be Bill Clinton? Ooh, whoopee, ooh.
Hello.
Hello.
Roland.
People. Oh, yeah, he was there last night.
Of course he was. Wherever Springsteen goes, Roland goes.
He actually somehow got into Max Weinberg's circle.
Oh, shit.
As they were all standing, because he was just sort of standing against the wall.
Was he creaming? Because he is a huge
Max,
fan.
I guess, was going around the circle going, you go, ba-da-ba, and you come in, hey, he's doing a whole thing. He just kind of comes to Roland. Roland's just like, Bruce. and Max just rolled his eyes like, who is this idiot? And then just continued on. Dude,
let's get him in here.
Roland was hilarious. He was sitting there, and he had on his some sort of limited edition Bruce Springsteen direct from the website, like $80 T-shirt or something.
Of course.
And he got a hug from Bruce, and I think he almost fainted.
Wow,
a hug from Bruce?
A big one.
Yeah, Bruce was funny. He came up and he went, he goes, merchandise, and he hugged him.
Merchandise.
I really believe Roland is the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan in the world.
He was walking by. He goes, "This is how much of a nerd I am." He's like, "That's Bruce's guitar tech," and he knew the guy's name.
Oh my God!
He's into like the
Roland, and of course he's wearing a Springsteen shirt today as well.
So, Roland, let me ask you: have you gotten a photo with Bruce?
No, I haven't.
You've never gotten one?
No.
You should have asked me, dude. I would have done that.
Why didn't you last night? Was like the perfect opportunity.
But the thing is, so I won't look like. When you have people around, like, they had a lot of powerful agents, managers.
Okay, yeah.
You can't do it. Because one woman took a picture, and everybody's like, who's her?
And they were all like, why does she have the balls to do what we'd all love to do?
Yeah,
or like,
that's exactly it.
Wow.
I got Bruce in an elevator, so it's different.
But he gave me a hug, so.
Yeah, Bill was telling us.
Gave you a hug.
It was different. He couldn't run away.
Dude, it was fucking me and Kenny were walking out for a gig in Minnesota, and Springsteen's band was in the hotel we were in. And literally there was a fucking truck, an SUV in front of the car. And the security guy, when we walked out, goes, hello, little Jimmy, like he was an O&A fan.
Oh, shit.
And I think he was trying to, in a way, tell me to stay. But me and Kenny walked out of the street, and then Kenny goes, I think Bruce is in that truck. So we fucking saw Bruce get out of the truck and sign one thing. Me and Kenny bolted back into the hotel. And as the elevator's closing, we jump on. It's just the guy and Bruce and me and Kenny. And we were like, we just rode up in the elevator with him, and I'm like, do you mind if I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure. And we had workout clothes on. And then we realized he got off to the top floor, and he's like, what floor are you guys? We're like, oh, we just...
you have to go back down.
I went back down.
Because this is my whole floor.
Right.
I'm sure you're not on this one.
Higher than this.
But that's one of those places where it's like you can afford to do it, because it's like, who cares? You're in an elevator.
No, but like, even you see Jon Stewart, Seinfeld, and Brian Williams all talking. Bruce walks in. They all freeze, too. They're all like...
But those guys could ask for like on that level you can ask and it's fine.
None of them did though.
They might already have them.
Yeah, but they're all just talking, hanging out, and everybody's like staring at Bruce.
Everybody's trying to be too cool for the room. It's like it's Springsteen. Walk up and say hello. He knows who Jon Stewart is. He knows who Seinfeld is.
He says hello, and everybody just like keeps on staring at him. Hello, hello, hello.
Wow.
So how did you get the
but you don't want to be that guy
action?
who just like, I mean, that's his whole life is trying to get from point A to point B, taking as few pictures as possible.
Yeah,
I just look at it. He's backstage. This is the one place where he can chill, and I'm going to be like, "Can you sign my shoulder?"
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
So I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't know. I want to do it, but I don't have the ability to finesse it. I would just, I know I would just annoy him if I did.
Jimmy Gumption.
Well, I'm not. But again,
Jim's got gumption.
I'm not. I do it at the right time too. I don't get them as he's walking on stage. I'll get it like
Really?
I catch a moment right by the dressing room or something where you know that there's.
He's trying to collect his thoughts about what he's
exactly.
going to do.
What's he going to do? He's doing 8 minutes. Sing "Born in the USA" and fucking get back off. We're tired of you.
No,
Sorry.
it's just like a woman was talking about her tragedy and everything. I was standing next to Joel, and then Bruce was right in front of us. I was like,
Did you say he said he hugged you though?
yeah.
Were you happy?
Yeah. Oh, beyond. That's why I love Joel.
Did you make cumsies?
I did make lots of them. I was
Yeah.
so excited.
I bet.
I just froze.
Yeah, Roland fucking loves Springsteen.
I did. So when like
Were you all sweaty?
when
Did he
one
hug
was
you and
talking,
you were all sweaty?
no, I smell very good though.
Like vanilla?
I had my special soap on.
This is real. I'm telling you, he's not even fucking
No, but
doing it for the radio show.
when he was standing, like when one was doing a speech, like Joel's next to, and there's Bruce. I'm like, I could touch him. and then like Joel kind of reached, like brushed Patty and Bruce, and then they kind of like looked around, and I just like smiled, like I had Bruce shirt on, and then they just turned right back around. I'm like.
Oh, that's so odd. You're like the
rejection.
guy. You're like the guy at appearances that we see with the O&A shirts on, and you're just kind of like, oh God, don't come up to
Those
me.
AM radio headphones.
Don't start talking to me.
Yeah, but I refrained from pictures and everything. Though it killed me. Though.
Would you get him if he was in here? Would you get a photo?
I would if management lets me. I would be more than happy.
We gotta get him a photo with Springsteen.
I tell you,
he is coming up here on the 15th.
Is he?
Yeah, for 2
Not
hours.
on our show though, right?
No, he's doing the Fishbowl, like a special for the Bruce channel.
So can we get you a
Bruce channel.
picture? Can we make that happen? Because Roland's not going to ask because
What
he works here.
What time is he coming?
I have no idea. They're just I listen to the Bruce channel all day, so I just heard the contest.
The 15th.
What is the fucking obsession?
I know. I just love
Yeah,
Bruce's
I
music.
like bands too. There's certain bands I like, yeah, but it's like never that obsessive.
Right.
Well, yeah, Jimmy. Flex
I get it. He just loves him.
Ozzy.
I do. So like right after your show ends, and I go, Nick's running, and I go, Bruce, and I hear play all day long.
What'd you hear?
Na 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 na. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's unbelievable. How many times have you seen Springsteen?
Well, last night that'll be my 253rd time.
Is there anyone that has seen Springsteen more than that?
Max Weinberg hasn't seen him that many times.
Who's a bigger Springsteen fan than you? Because you know that whole culture.
There was an old guy that's in front of me in a show. He saw like 800 shows, but he was divorced 3 times, so that's my future.
Divorced?
Probably.
That's your future.
Well, once they allow marriage, like.
Yeah.
Dude, that's over 2 years.
Yeah.
Of your life just seeing Bruce Springsteen concerts.
Wow, you're right.
Doing?
Wow.
I can't wait till he goes back on the road, though.
So, dude, are you gonna be here when he comes up and watch him?
I don't know if I'm allowed to
really?
because it's only like 20 people. They're having a contest.
Why can't they put you in the fishbowl? What's wrong with this fucking place?
Maybe they will though. Maybe
they never do the right thing.
I haven't asked though. That's why I haven't.
Why don't we do this? Because Roland does it. Roland's very professional. We'll ask for Roland.
Yeah, of course.
We should contact Bruce's management and ask if they can. Look,
Would
I know there's a lot of
he's in the
fans.
fishbowl, making it 21 instead of 20 people.
Or would they at least arrange for a quick? We'll find out. Maybe they will. They've been good with stuff
God
like that.
bless you, Jimmy. God
Why not?
bless you. I say why not?
Maybe
too.
they make the special exception.
We'll see.
And sign my photo.
They're weird about all that stuff. We'll
Yeah, but it was a fun event though.
Bill Burr do well?
He killed.
Of course he did.
Bruce loved him too. He said.
Really?
Oh yeah. Who
Bruce
said?
saw you. Who said Bill? We listened.
Who said that Bruce loved Bill?
Everybody loves. I mean, he killed.
No, you can't lump Bill and Bruce.
No, somebody came up and said that he was down in the green room laughing, which
Oh, that's
gave me
great.
a thrill. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Definitely gave me a thrill.
What are they going to say? The negative guy, negative friend who ruins everything.
He was probably just being nice.
Yeah, come on, Bill. The volume wasn't even on. He was rehearsing. All right. That's great. He'll remember you now, though.
He laughed at everybody.
But, dude, he'll fucking... You have something to talk to him now, because I guarantee you, if you'd see him, he'd remember you. But if not, you just go, we were on that benefit. He'd go, yeah, I loved you.
Tony Benn was awesome.
I got a feeling his life's big enough that he's probably already forgotten
about things.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was obsessed with you and was Googling you and was just ordering all your shit?
Oh, yeah, and then he listened to this show and heard some of our impressions of him.
Yeah,
that's the funniest thing about being on this show. The amount of times I've run into somebody that I actually realize that I kind of like, But then I just think to an episode of this, I'm like, oh God, I hope he's not a fan of the show.
I certainly fucked that up. Yeah.
I can't even like.
It really makes it hard.
The combination of stuff I've done in specials,
Yeah.
and then being on this show. I swear to God, it's at like 12% of the people I meet. I'm
Bridge
like,
burner.
This show makes it really hard to run in those circles.
Yeah.
Really hard.
You don't know what you've said and who's gotten back to.
I was in the Brooklyn diner one time, and there was something going on where Tyra Banks forgot to tip. She thought her people did, so she came running in to do it. It was this big sort of media thing. And the person I was with was funny. They go, oh, hey, dude, are you a big fan of Beyonce? And he turned around, pointed, and I go, that's Tyra Banks. And then immediately I'm looking at him like, wow, she's beautiful. And then immediately I just thought of, oh, God, fatty, fat, cow, whatever the hell.
Fatty, pig, fatty.
I was like,
huge banner outside where she did her show in L.A.
God. Yeah.
I love that guy to this day for doing that.
That's bad, yeah.
Oh, my God. That went everywhere. All right, we should take a break.
One.
We got Bill Burr in studio. Roland, thank you. We got Ginger Lynn. She should be here. Well, she's here.
Oh, is she here? I'll go
so
bring
she'll
her
join
next.
the program next, and we got Mick Foley coming by and Chris Morris as well, the director.
Cannot wait to talk to that guy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Best comedy I've seen in years and years.
Yeah, Four Lions is the name of the movie, and we'll talk to the director, Chris Morris, later on today. But first, this.
The Opie and Anthony Show presents Primetime Sam Roberts and one question with a guest we couldn't get. Rapper and Hollywood actor T.I.
Primetime Sam Roberts here with T.I. T.I., what's your favorite color Skittle?
I hate to let you down here, champ. I don't have a favorite color Skittle.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for yours.
This has been Primetime Sam Roberts and one question with a guest we couldn't get on the Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony Show on the Virus, Sirius XM.
Fucking good choice.
What is this, Jimmy?
Dr. Alibi. This is Lemmy on Slash's CD. It's unbelievable.
That is a good CD. I tracked through that Slash CD. It was nice. What's going on in your world, Bill? Anything? The elections, conspiracies, sports?
Oh, the elections were hilarious.
Hilarious, right?
I was just talking to Anthony about that, how 2 years ago they got all the Republicans out. We're like, we're going to show them. Now something's going to get done, and then 2 years later, they get rid of all the Democrats. It's like, don't you realize that the people got money on both sides of the ball? It's just going to continue. Do you think these guys are going to get the bankers?
No.
These are the guys who are going to like reverse NAFTA and try to get like manufacturing back in this country so we have jobs again.
So then they'll be out in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep going back and forth.
Yeah, the whole thing is just, it's hilarious.
It's the system, man. It's broke.
So what I do, so I sit there, and then people tell me that when I vote for these guys who say, we got to audit the Federal Reserve, we got to get manufacturing. Dude, it's a waste of a vote. And then these fucking morons vote either Democrat or Republican and act like that isn't a waste of a vote, and they're on their knees blowing the same people. Man,
there's some petrifying stuff there going on with the Fed and how they're buying up bonds. They're buying up U.S. bonds with money that they're just printing. So they print about in between a $500 billion or $1 trillion, probably about $800 billion. And then buy bonds for the country.
Yeah,
but it's like borrowing money from yourself.
It's not even built on sand anymore. I don't even know what it's built on.
No,
I don't get how it's not like $90 for a bottle of ketchup at this point.
And they say groceries are already going up. I heard on the news this morning, like groceries are taking this quantum leap up in price that we haven't seen in quite a while. And the value of the dollar could drop upwards of 20%.
Yeah, no, that's that whole shit about getting us on the Amero. Dude, and all the super rich people and all the people in the know are all investing outside. Like, they just seem to be like George Bush, W, bought a bunch of land down in South America. It's like, why? What do you know
what's going on?
that I don't know? Like, what is,
Now, remember, we were talking about the Amero, as far as, Europe's got the euro, and we're talking about the Amero, and we're sitting there thinking, like, well, fuck that, because Mexico's got worthless money. And we're pretty much on par with Canada now, though, because the value of our dollar has dropped so much. So you just, drop it down a little more? Keep dropping the dollar?
That's what they're going to do.
And it's fucked up. It's like, and then we'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, Numero sounds fine by me.
Yeah, this one is worth. This one actually is worth something, and then you'll go on to that, dude. It's a,
how is the Numero bad? I'm not saying it's not bad, but I don't know enough about finance.
Because the dollar is pretty much the only thing this country has left.
No, because what you're doing, what you're going to do is, but then you're going to have one bank that's going to, rather than right now, you have the Federal Reserve that prints the money for this country.
Yeah.
But then what you're going to have is one bank is then going to be printing the money.
The World Bank.
For Mexico. It would be Mexico, America, and then Canada,
and then Europe,
and then you crash that thing. Yeah, and then what it is, they're just loan sharkers. That's all they are. If you ever break down your mortgage,
that's sickening.
If you break, it's disgusting, and you should try to pay it down as quickly as you can, regardless of what your accountant says, because you can get the shit taxed out of you. Good, but it's not interest. I don't care. I'll sleep on a futon, but I am not going to be sitting here as your fucking indentured servant. All right, buying you a new pair of loafers every 20 minutes with the interest on my thing. Yeah,
every 20 minutes.
I dumped every fucking dollar in the last few years into my principal because I hated that I was giving these scumbags, and you're always going to pay interest. They loan me money. Fair enough. They should get something back for that. But the idea of paying over 30 years...
It's ridiculous, and they front-end load the interest. Like, you don't even have... Like, people think if you pay it off in 17 years, you got them. It's like, dude, you already gave them 90% of the interest during those first 11, 12 years. It's like you have like 7, 8 years to really... pay that thing down. The big thing is if you can cut into your principal, you are dropping the interest.
Yes.
You have to kick the shit out of it, though.
Oh, I know.
But the problem is they get you in those things like your job basically as a minion is to take on as much debt as you can without capsizing. And if you don't, they tax the shit out of you. It's like because you have the choice to not invest in that type of stuff, but basically through basic financial dicks in the ass, you will run through the hole they want you to run through. You're like, which one has the smallest cock? That one. Okay. That's the dumb shit where I ended up putting myself under all that shit on Wall Street. I had no idea what it was. That's the crap table. And these guys, they shake it up like a fucking ant farm. They talk. They know it's coming. They pull this shit out. I slam down on the pavement, and then they come. Hey, I'll give you 8 cents for whatever the hell you just bought, and then they just shoot it back up. And every once in a while they'll get someone like a Martha Stewart. That's the bone. Like they're actually cracking down. They'll get the guy who played fucking Matlock, and they'll throw him in jail, right? Because he made money on some sort of Disney theme park. But they don't get these bankers and these idiots every 2 years. They get rid of the Democrats and Republicans, and nobody's going after the bankers. Nobody's going after these corporations. Nobody's doing shit.
What do you think the purpose is for keeping people in debt? Like, I know it sounds like a simple question.
You can't storm the castle.
Is that what it is?
You don't have time to light a torch.
Because you're constantly thinking that I got to work, I got to be docile, I got to keep, stay in line just so I can pay off this crap.
Yeah, I started to read about this stuff, got all the way to reading that book, The Case Against the Fed and all that, and it was just so overwhelmingly depressing. I just said to hell with it. I got a dog, got a new CD.
Oh, my God.
How are you, people?
Look at it, guests are just coming in.
Wow, this is awesome.
I'm sitting there going, why is my story losing focus? Why is everybody... It's almost like a legendary wrestler walked in or something.
And Ginger Lynn on top of it.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, sorry, Bill. We started looking at Ginger Lynn.
And that's how the world's going to end. But let's move on.
Exactly. That's a prime example of what you were just talking about.
The Illuminati just sent them in.
It's like, quick, send them in. Bill's on to us. Bill's talking about banking and
just the wrestler? No, and the porn star.
The Fed and everything.
At the same time.
Get him on both levels.
It's always good when Ginger Lynn's in studio to be sitting next to Bill Burr, too. That's the luck I have.
You want to switch seats?
No.
We could do that
Come on,
easily.
Jimmy.
Bill's not as distracting. I like Bill.
Come on, Jim.
No.
Meanwhile, you guys have kind of banished me over here on the corner.
No, look at this.
Why is Mick over there?
Come on,
Mick. We feel bad, Mick.
I feel left out.
Look, you lost weight.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll find it.
You want to move him to the table? We can squeeze in.
Drop a couple of these.
Let's squeeze him in.
Get a goddamn
He
chair.
wants to trade? I'll sit over there. Provided nothing horrific has happened there in the last 10 days.
Do you guys know that Ginger and I are tight?
Really?
Then why doesn't she sit on your lap?
I can do that. Are you okay with that?
I am.
All right, then why don't you get out?
Why wouldn't he be? Who wouldn't be?
Come on, Mick.
I'm not wearing diapers like the last time I saw you.
Wow.
Why are you wearing diapers?
We've got history.
Fetish or surgery?
I completely forgot about the Fed.
Come over and sit on your lap and tell.
Wow, come on over
That's
here.
a hell of a career.
Oh, there we
Diapers,
go.
right?
Just,
all right, there's
look at that.
Hi, Mick.
Hi, Ginger.
How do you guys know each other?
Mick came into my show that I was doing on Playboy on Sirius when I was doing it with Christy Canyon.
Yes.
And we actually ended up, I thought it would be cute to wrestle with Mick. So,
you wrestled a little bit.
I didn't know what to
Did
wear.
you smack her in the face with a chair?
So
hey, it's the only thing I know.
I have to tell you, I'd never
Put that
heard.
sock on his dick.
I did not. I was not aware of the freedoms that being on Sirius satellite allowed performers. And I was in the green room listening to Christy and Ginger, and they were you were performing cunnilingus on Christy as part of a bet.
Wow.
And cunnilingus. I was eating your pussy, honey.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can I say that here?
Yes, yes. We actually prefer it in any context.
You're blushing now.
I'm blushing because I realized Sam is a video camera. I could have other side. Well, I said, no, honey, we just pretended that she was sitting on my lap.
That's for Sam's personal catalog, believe me.
Here, I'll move off.
No, I
fan
enjoy it.
ever.
And
Ridiculous.
And I was really thinking about running out the door. Opening the green room door, just saying this is a mistake, and running out. And when I walked in on Ginger and Christy's world, the first thing Christy said was, "Mick, you spent a lot of time on the beach today. That face is kind of red." And but then it was literally like magic there, right? Like I was supposed to be on for 15 minutes, and I went to 3 hours.
I find that hard to believe that two porn girls licking each other's pussies would be a fun place to be, Mick.
Yeah, you didn't sell it well enough for everybody.
Wait, the show
was no wait, but I want to hear about the wrestling because I heard Ginger say that she was wearing diapers. I picked up on that.
You know, I've been practicing martial arts for about 20 years, and I thought, Mick Foley, okay, I can take Mick, but he's a little bit bigger than me, and I thought, well, how can I distract him in the best way? So Christy and I took our tops off, and we put diapers on, so we did adult diaper wrestling.
That'll do it.
Can I
Mick, you're 6'5".
An adult diaper match. You getting diapers. I said get those diapers. $40 million the bitch couldn't even win.
I don't know who
I don't
won,
want to be in
Mick. Do you remember?
I remember Ginger kind of whispering to me right before we went on. She was like, "Don't worry, we won't hurt you."
Wow.
And they had a safety word so that if things got out of hand.
What was it, coming?
She gave me the safety. She goes, "How about your safety word is I love Christy's big titties." And so I never was in a position where I had to say those words until I was home by myself later that evening and said the safety word over and over.
Damn.
But I'm going to make a shocking admission here, and this is nothing that Ginger doesn't know, is that for anyone who has never been in a situation where they're diaper wrestling with two, not just porn stars, but icons.
Yeah.
You know, and Ginger's cool with this. She knows that Christy was my girl, that I am a monogamous masturbator. But that, I'd certainly caught a Ginger Lynn film over the years, but I find these two iconic performers who are writhing on me. And I could only think of my physicals in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade going out for sports, where the guy's gonna feel your balls, and you're not supposed to be aroused in any way, but you're hoping that you're not like shrinking unto yourself.
You need just enough.
Just enough. And
not embarrassing.
And while they're down, there was some incidental contact made with my genitals.
Oops.
Yeah, well, you're wrestling.
And I'm that same thing. I'm like, please don't do this to me. Nothing. I had nothing.
How horrible was your dick?
It was like pulling the head in the sand trick.
How awful. They had such high expectations,
and I felt bad
too.
for the girls because I didn't want them to take it personally.
Yeah, it was just little nerves.
Yeah.
You were a little nervous.
Did they change your name to Androgynous Kind?
See, I don't remember it that way.
How do you remember?
Wait,
I
Ginger
remember
remembers
that you were quite impressive in all areas.
Nick.
Wow, maybe you're selling yourself short.
So I'm thinking if that was
Maybe
crawled
his
back
wife
up
is
inside,
listening.
oh my goodness, I don't know if I could
exactly.
handle it if it wasn't.
Yeah, he probably had a raging hard on, but he knows his wife's listening.
Yeah, he had to tell his wife, it was terrible.
I just didn't find it exciting, honey.
All I could do is just think of you, sweetheart.
Yeah, I thought of our wedding and how this,
The day-to-day monotony of this relationship.
How long, so when was the last film you did?
My last film, I actually was in the spring of this year.
Oh, wow, you're still working, okay.
No, I stopped.
Oh, you did?
No, I did. I worked, I think it was March. It was just released last week. It's called Saw. It's the porn version of Saw.
Okay.
First scene that I ever did 27 years ago was with Ron Jeremy. And believe it or not, I still stayed in porn. I don't know why.
Yeah. Did he smell? People, he's a buddy of mine too, but people say he would get a little gamey after a shoot.
Yeah,
Gamey.
not just after a shoot. He's gotten better because my last scene ever was with Ronnie again in the movie Saw.
That's a perfect bookend.
I'm telling you.
Yes. I thought Rocky Balboa went out on a high. This is
Begin and end the series with the same scene.
Yeah, you know, Ronnie has he wears the same sweatpants pretty much every day for the last 10 years.
my kind of guy.
Yeah, but you might want to wash him in between. You don't smell funny. So he does have kind of a stench on occasion. But
now, where is the stench? Is it his chest hair, or his body, his balls?
It's kind of the whole thing, and then he covers it up with not deodorant, but cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to be careful because I'm doing a radio show
He's
with him
old
later
school.
today.
He's old school.
Why don't you got enough juice in this business to be like, can you bathe before you do that to me?
But I didn't work with him in between, so we had a 26-year space that we didn't work.
You thought maybe he cleaned up.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, and then
Can I
it
draw a
wasn't as
wrestling
bad.
parallel here?
Sure.
Yeah, I was on the record, and a few fans thought that I was disrespecting Stone Cold Steve Austin by saying, when asked who the hardest hitters were, I said, there was a guy named Vader, who really racked your brains with those forearms. He'd come in with left to right, left, and just when you thought you'd kind of go with him, he'd hit you with 3 straight rights. But he was like another generation, and I said something like, but I'll tell you what, when that crowd was going and Austin's adrenaline was really running, being on the receiving end of his comeback punches was no day at the park. And then I said, but, you couldn't say anything because he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. You couldn't go by, hey, kid, you want to take it a little easier on me? Forget about the crowd and the fact that all these people are here to see you and that you're putting my kids through college. Take it easy on those punches. Same thing with Ron Jeremy. You really can't bring it up because he is the Stone Cold Steve Austin of porn.
That works.
He actually looks more like the Captain Lou Albano.
So the last scene you did was with Jerry. Was there a period where you stopped working when you first started?
Yes, a long period. I made my first 69 films in a 2-year, 3-month space. It wasn't intentional, but I did. It just happened.
69.
I think I actually had you in the 69 position last time I saw you.
And that's when absolutely
That's
nothing.
how I won.
Happened. What?
Damn. True. Well, something about a diaper in your face probably wasn't too sexy.
How many years did you take off?
I might have lost the diaper at that point.
Well, don't fall.
But I took a 13-year, I stopped, thought I'd never come back, came back for a couple of years, made another 7 or 8 films, stopped for 10, came back a little over a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? The industry, it's just not what it used to be. I love sex. I love passion. I love everything that the build up and the kissing and then the nasty and the nice and all the different, And when I came back, I did a few movies, and this is why I quit. I was on a set with a guy, and I'm now in the MILF category. So I get there and I walk in, and I like to find out what turns you on, what you like. And I went up and I said, hi, I'm Ginger, and we're going to be working together. What do you like? And he goes, I don't talk to performers before we work together. And he's like 18 or 19. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe he's going to have a little difficulty, and, I might make him uncomfortable. So I'll let him have his little time that he needs. And we start the scene, and I'm on my knees, and I'm
sucking his dick?
Sucking his dick. Well, I start to, and he goes, whoa, that's not how you do it. And I stopped, and I looked at the camera. It was one of those things where And I looked at him and I said, honey, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. I have awards for this. Shut the fuck up. And it ruined the whole, it was just like awful.
The whole vibe is ruined.
It was, I mean, and
that's not
maybe
how you do it.
What did he want?
Was his dick in your mouth?
Yes,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think I won't say his name, Mikey Butter.
Mikey Butter.
I guess his thing is you want him to do it really slow, but I have my thing in the way I start and the way I go, and it wasn't his. But you could have said, "Baby, I like this a little better."
She's got a way.
If he would have asked you to slow down a little bit, but nicely.
I would have. You know what? I'm accommodating. I would have absolutely have done that. And had we spoken ahead of time, you could have said, the tip's really sensitive. Stay away from that, or don't touch my balls. But I'm not going to go in and be. I give a good blowjob. I really do. So
there's only one way to find out. It's not about me. It's about.
Can I ask a pointed question after I just want to mention my book so I get out of the way.
Why? This is a perfect segue to your book, My Raging Hard-On.
A hardcore journal. In my last book, I did talk about the first time I was on the show with Christy and Ginger and how I could never run for political office.
That's pretty much you
once
give up.
Once they've got photographs of you simulating 69 with
you give up any
chance. Porn icons.
Those pictures come out. It's all over.
There are a few Christy mentions in the book.
You have to mention Christy.
I love Christy.
We really do.
We all do.
And can I tell you,
please,
one of my fondest sexual memories, but this is after I ask you a question as an expert in the field of adult. How important is incorporating the balls?
How important is incorporating the ball? The ball. Comments.
Yes.
I love balls. I think it's a personal preference, and it depends on what you do with them. My new favorite thing with my boyfriend, I like to stretch the sack, put it over my face, and kind of lick through the skin. So
how big is this sack?
Really?
It's not that big, but I don't know what.
His name is Santa. It's a red velour sack.
There's just something about
wings.
I don't know. I've been around for a while, and I'm always exploring and finding new things. So not to where I'm going to hurt, but
silly putty bag.
Just kind of. He doesn't have a big ball sack. It's just I just thought, well, what can I do with this? So I kind of stretch it over and lick through the.
Wow, that's fucking nice.
It's
that's
so
unique.
So if you like it, I can add that in.
All right.
Kind of
falls under the term of incorporating, right?
There's nothing good than the female reach around is pretty good. If you're going at it and she wants to reach around and give a little jiggle down there.
Always nice.
That's
or just,
one.
when you're giving a blowjob, to touch them gently and play with them. And
no one's going to argue with that.
No,
You're not going to get a fight.
But flicking is no good, right?
Flicking, not good.
No. You don't want to hurt them.
No partisan politics.
You don't want to hurt them.
I like them.
An uppercut. You don't want an uppercut.
Yeah. I like them touched softly, held, cupped.
Yeah.
I like when a girl acts like because I have small balls. I like when a girl acts like they're big, like when she holds my balls and she goes, ooh.
See, but there's something to be said about small ones, too, because I can get them both in my mouth at the same time.
Easily, yeah.
And then kind of juggle them with my tongue.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm all cock.
And have a phone conversation. It isn't garbled.
I don't normally admit this, but I have small balls, Ginger.
You got small balls, Mick. You didn't need to admit it. She felt it.
We'll go from wrestling to juggling.
All fucking wasp nest balls.
Can I attest to the professionalism of Ginger and her former co-host, Christy?
Yes.
Are you telling people why you're here and what you're starting?
Well, I had that in mind, but then I sat down and I was so excited. I'm the only girl in the room with a bunch of guys, and I got excited, and then you're here.
Right,
and that was so it was just, I still haven't done that.
I just plugged my new book, Countdown to Lockdown, and I think you can talk about your new show coming up.
Do you know how bored she'd be, by the way? Excuse my interruption. Do you know how bored she'd be fucking all of us average fucks? What are we going to do?
I teach
average.
No, you know what? I prefer civilian sex. It's much better because porn stars, they're robotic. It's automatic. ABC 1 2 3 fucking. There's a lot of slamming going on. You have to open up to the camera. No, it's
all right.
Porn on
regular,
film. It's not real sex. You've got real people who are passionate. You want to. There's a whole different rhythm that goes on. So no, we would be
hitting your marking.
But back in the days when you were working, when you first started,
your lines.
Who would you say was the best fuck? Because back in the older days, there was no Viagra, there was no cabbage, there was none of that stuff.
They were real people.
Yeah, they had to stay hard.
Tom Byron, always going to be one of my favorites.
Classic.
Yeah, I got a
good guy.
Jamie Gillis. Jamie had a whole other thing going on. He was so sick and twisted.
Yeah,
that was kind of a nice.
He talked a good
taking
dirty
a little,
streak, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I like that.
I heard Paul Thomas was a real perv too.
You know, he never did it for me. Never did it for me.
Only the old timers.
What about Russ Francis? You ever work with him?
The Cleveland, the New Orleans, New England.
Oh, he's the guy. Played
tight end for the Patriots. The late 70s, but he had a great porn star mustache.
But one thing, I will go back to why I'm actually here. There's a couple things going on that I'm doing. Sirius has launched a new channel, the Spice Channel.
Yes.
I was on Playboy with Christy Canyon for several years. The Spice Channel launched Monday night, 7 p.m. Los Angeles time. I had the launch show. So we've got 7 to 11 is my show every Monday night. And it's a whole different, it's another Sirius channel. Whereas when I was on Playboy, we had safe words and we were able to go to a certain place. On the Spice Channel, I have no limits. I can pretty much do whatever I want. Well, like Monday, I played Will My Pussy Melt This? Wonderful game all by myself. Velveeta cheese. Awesome. When it came out, it was shaped just like the inside of me.
You put Velveeta cheese in your vag?
Why the fuck are we talking?
Really?
Why are we talking?
What a great
for
fit that
something? We got to do something today.
How come we can't do it?
Did you guys see the Dow just dropped 15 points?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. We got Ginger Lynn in studio.
And the funny thing is, I normally don't like Velveeta.
I'm not a big fan either, but I just, the crayon didn't work so well. I think with more time, I could have melted the crayon. Milky Way.
No. We're confused because we have a no insertion policy on our show, but you're sticking stuff up your...
She's just doing it. She's not listening. Right. She's just doing what she wants to do. That's what she should do.
Is there... Well, we have a no insertion policy as well, but only, I believe that's with actual body parts. I couldn't put
let's melt some shit today, man.
Try to... if I went, try to melt my cock.
I don't.
We couldn't do that.
No, we could not do that. And
I'd love to with the heel of my boot.
What if
Can
I
you
said,
melt this
Ginger,
at the end of my cock?
Try to melt my heart.
Look at hopeless romantic.
We don't want to.
Makes a hopeless
Ginger
romantic.
is definitely a very good talker, but we should do something. Wait, Ginger, can we do one of your bits today on our show? We got a nice audience.
I didn't bring anything to melt, but can I make one more shameless plug?
Yes,
of course.
The other thing that I'm doing, all of the ladies in the adult film industry, we've been around for, some of us, 6 months, 6 days, 6 years. Mm-hmm. But everything we wear on film, we wear one time. Before you do the scene, if you're with somebody you like, your panties get wet, and it's a lot of fun. Well, after we wear that article for one time, there's nothing to do with it. I used to sell them on eBay, can't do that anymore. I guess it's a hazard.
Really?
So I've started GingerLynnAuctions.com. I've got about 25 girls right now, porn stars that are posting everything that they wear in film on the site.
To be sold.
To be sold.
Now, is this a direct result of like the tube eights and those types of things, just out of curiosity, or is this just taking advantage of the internet? A little bit of both. Because I was wondering, because
they've lost some money.
Yeah, like I just put out a stand-up DVD, and it's like you're trying to sell as many as you can before people upload it, and they start. It's just amazing.
Well, you can't upload the articles, right?
The articles, and there's
That's
a million porn sites where you can watch anything. The day a movie comes out, it's everywhere. My panties, the ones I'm wearing right now, there's one pair.
Right.
If I hump something in here, my panties get wet. They're the only ones that I'm going to have that I was on the Opie and Anthony show humping whoever or whatever I humped, and they're
with
up
wet
on
panties.
GingerLynnAuctions.com. So
do you hear what she's saying?
Do you put them in a little
something? Why are we still talking?
Do you put them in a Ziploc bag to retain?
I do. I Ziploc them up every time I do one of my shows on my series shows when I'm done.
For freshness.
Yes.
They're
Put it in Tupperware and burp it.
Well, your show's every Monday through Friday? Well, it says the Jerk Box with Ginger Lynn, Monday through Friday.
Jerk Box is Monday through Friday. It's Sirius 108 XM 248. I'm only on Monday nights as of now from 7 to 11.
Who's on the rest of the week?
Give up
We've
on
got
civilization laugh.
Taylor Wayne. We have Debbie Diamond. We have Jessica Bangkok. We have Kylie Ireland. Gosh, you don't know that we just started Monday, so I don't.
This is like Playboy Radio in a way, kind of, but a little bit more explicit.
It's cool. Yes, it's the naughty version of that.
And Christy ships over to.
Let's just picture making a movie of the journey.
Also.
I think Christy Canyon will be on Spice in the near future. Yes,
we got to do something with Ginger Lynn. She's up for something. What can we do with you today, Ginger?
Well, I was hoping. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men in the studio, and you guys can't think of anything. Mick, any ideas?
What would you like Ginger Lynn to do? Melt something with her pussy, or what do you want?
I have some haiku poetry that
Melt my new DVD available on iTunes.
There you go.
Hey, Phil Burr.
Why can't we think of something? Come on.
I didn't bring any
It's been so long since
It
we've
has
had
been so long. You're absolutely right.
I think I might have some candy left over from Halloween in the office. Should we go see what we got? Maybe we can melt something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe
Now,
like a
just
sugar daddy.
Yeah.
For that? Sugar daddy?
Let's see what kind of candy you got in the office.
We could try that. The thing is, it's a little bit messy. I
we
usually
don't
bring
care.
a paint tarp.
Oh, we don't care.
Oh,
we
yeah.
like messy.
Yeah,
we
that's
just,
fine.
that rug. You know what that rug has seen? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Can I point to the professionalism
Yes,
of Ginger Lynn?
Yes,
of course.
And
I
the
love
passion
you.
with which she brings to her
Absolutely.
trade. For my viewing pleasure, I was asked to do the commentary while Ginger attempted to manipulate Christy into climaxing. Do you remember this?
I do remember
And
this.
I believe it may have even been her offhand, not even her good hand.
Damn.
And
Southpaw.
Christy had to keep saying to me, radio, so that I would actually speak because my mouth is just wide open. And what I was watching Ginger
Double perfect
climaxing
rainbow.
as she helped Christy reach orgasm. And
Wasn't it
I
great?
never saw someone that turned on to turn on somebody
Wasn't
else.
it great to be able to comment on it, though, without hearing in your ear, talk about a clitoris! What are you doing, Mick? You don't know how to announce this properly.
We're Team Mick. We're not Team Vince there, Mick Foley.
Vince would be blasted in his ear about what he's not doing announcing.
Yeah.
It was Christy gently looking at me going, radio. Like meaning I have
We're
to. I have
on
to
the radio. You talk about how she's doing digital manipulation. You better talk about it, Foley.
No, Mick, I don't want to get you in any trouble here. You're a happily married man
Yes,
with
of
4
course he
children.
is.
Countdown to lockdown is just come out.
Right.
Now, if I'm running around putting things inside of me, this might ruin your reputation, and I do love you enough to not want to do that.
I'm promoting a project, and so I don't want to be away from home for this many days, but I'm doing it for the book.
For the
And
book.
as long as I'm not actively participating. Or
Yeah,
even
then-
cheering you
then
on.
it's
As
fine.
long as I'm
Sure.
an observer,
Hey.
I don't
then you'll be
object to
fine.
doing anything.
I got a wrestling question.
Yes.
The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. What do you know about that?
Wow, man! Somebody
What do you
sent
know
me
about
the link.
that?
I did not know that they had.
Did they have
bad
history?
blood. I did not know because
Okay.
I wasn't there at the time, but it certainly looked like they had history. I don't think Brock was in any mood to play along with a storyline.
No, not after that. thrashing.
That's a weird place to start a storyline.
And I would not want to be like in Brock Lesnar's head right now because it's great for him that he's got an outlet for all that rage he appears to have in the MMA ring.
He would
But-
murder the fucking Undertaker. He's a murderer.
Yeah, that'd be and the Undertaker's one tough individual. Like Taker said, if this was 20 years ago, he may have he would have ventured into MMA. But there was no MMA when he got involved. He's actually got involved in 85 or 86.
But you talk to people. What are they saying?
They're saying that they had some heat over something.
Do you know?
I
You just
do
don't
not
want to
know.
say?
Why would he reference
I
it
don't
after
know.
the guy lost a championship fight?
Yeah, you want to do this now? Like,
The guy just lost a real fight.
We couldn't see what Brock was saying. I mean, from that vantage point, Brock walked by.
He wasn't saying
obviously
anything. He
said,
wanted out of there.
I think Brock just looked at him when he said it. It didn't look like Brock, again, because of the way he referenced it, Brock kind of looked almost like, what? Like, really?
What happened? Am I completely
That
out
was
of the loop
MMA.
here?
Brock Lesnar lost.
I know he lost.
To Cain Velasquez, and as he was walking away, the Undertaker
was being interviewed,
and he goes, "You want to do this?" It was something like that, and then Brock just kind of looked. You want to show Dan? It's a very, very fast clip.
Yeah, they were looking at each other a little.
It was a weird moment, though, but to me it seemed like the guy just lost
really
a fight.
strange moment, and nothing else has come out about it. So, I thought Mick might have some inside info.
No chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
You guys have Belladonna on your station?
No, we don't. I haven't seen her
She
in
does good
quite
radio.
some time.
She's great.
Does she?
Yeah, her and her husband do it.
You know what? I'll have to give her a call. I would love to have her on.
We just witnessed.
I'm a little bit shocked. I thought Brock was going to come out strong like he did. I thought Kane's chances would be better if they went into the 4th or 5th round. I'm a little bit shocked. I thought Brock might have got to him early, but you know what? Kane's a hell of a fighter, and he did a hell of a job.
Do you think, considering the size difference, that he'd be able to manhandle him like that?
No, I didn't think so. I think Brock's strength and size would overmatch him. I thought he would have to go into a cardio battle, and I'm actually very surprised.
It's almost like you're at a loss for words here.
You want to do it?
It was Brock Lesnar right there. What did you just say to him?
It's kind of a personal thing. I think maybe he needs to. I think he needs to train a little harder.
Are you guys cool?
Personal.
So why'd you mention it during a television interview?
Because he's hyping something.
Something's
that's
going
good.
on.
Yeah,
I think he was saying, like, do you want to do it? Like, are we still going out to that movie afterwards?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah,
just
drive on. Who's calling?
And look, as far as I'm concerned, whenever you use the word doing it,
it's always sex.
Right, because
That's what I think.
Earlier, Ginger asked me that question, and I
want to do it.
You want to do it?
Do we have the candy?
Finally kill this tension between us?
Danny, we got the candy or what?
Well, as it turns out, all the candy has been eaten.
Oh,
but
rock.
I did find a vuvuzela.
She's not gonna melt that. Come on.
Maybe she could blow it or something.
Yeah, do you queef?
Do I what?
Queef?
Ew.
I see that we got the vuvuzela, so I'm thinking, I'm just trying to think on the spot.
Occasionally every woman queefs, but if you're a regular queefer, you probably have a really big puss. I've queefed, I can think of once in like the last couple of years.
Damn.
We basically want you to play that with your pussy. We're trying here.
Yeah, the next World Cup comes in 3.5 years.
Huh?
Next World Cup is in 3.5 years. We want to start getting the fan base moving.
We have. I hear that there's candy en route.
Oh, candy
en route.
In the meantime, Mick, what's in the book? What do you got in there? I know you've written a lot of books. What's this one about?
I'm thinking about the candy.
Can I see the book?
This is called filler, Nick. Until the candy arrives. We don't really even give a shit about you and your book.
There's some of those sensitive stories you guys tease me about. I covered up with some sophomoric humor and some violence, but I try to make some serious. I do make some serious points in there, and have a couple chapters I'm really proud of. And there's a chapter about visiting that little boy in West Africa that you guys hounded me endlessly.
Yeah, this is not a novel. This is real.
Yeah. This is.
Okay.
It's like a 6-week journal. Takes you behind the scenes to the build up as I try to get ready to take on Sting. So it's similar in feel to the last one I did, but it's a completely different story because everybody involved is completely different company. It's my first post WWE book.
Oh, right.
Even though WWE mentioned my book 3 times.
What was that
on
about?
their show? You know what? I think I just came out and defended Linda McMahon from the criticism of her being associated with us because I took that kind of personally. Like,
she really did. Like, I thought it was ridiculous that what's his name? Friggin' old Dick Blumenthal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was using the WWF and WWE against her, like she's the one.
She kicked Jim Ross in the genitals, and that's being shown
it's like,
on the air as reason why she wouldn't make a good candidate.
I
mean, it was ugly. I was in Florida for the World Series, and you had to sit through like back to back to back to back negative campaign ads about different the same candidates, whether it be one about this one running for governor, counter it with the other one. It appears to be the same voiceover guy doing every negative ad in the country.
Best. They got through by lying. And then the music, the ominous music that they've.
That was like in California. Everybody running for governor. You didn't know what anybody stood for. All you knew was just everybody was evil.
Everyone else
evidently
was a
who was
scumbag,
running. Yeah.
And then they just tell you like. This guy, and then the music goes ding 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 ding, and this guy's got 3 children, and he's been married for 18 years, and it's a wonderful guy, but nothing about platform or anything. And the other guys are all scumbags.
All right, let me see.
Liars,
Norton came
cheats.
across something.
What
do we have?
No, Jimmy.
What do we have?
It was just
came across his leg looking at Ginger.
I see the look Jimmy's giving.
I happen to open up Countdown to Lockdown 22 days, and I open up on March 28th. On board Continental Flight 1033 New York to Houston. I've taken that flight many times. And I'm looking, and this is what jumps out at me. You were thinking that was a long way to go for free, and that you thought they were going to fly you in coach.
Yeah.
And then she said, "We love you. We're flying you first class." You don't always fly first class. You're Mick Foley. You're a wrestler.
I do sometimes. I mean, when it's official wrestling business, TNA, WWE. But I'm looking now at going over to the UK on the 10th. I've got a Daily Show spot. I'm going to be the guest on the Daily Show the 10th. Nice. And I'll have to leave what hopefully will be a triumphant moment and then sit in 27C all the way to London.
Why?
Man, because I'm funding the trip myself. And while I make a great argument to the people I work for that I deserve to sit in business, when it comes to actually footing the bill myself,
Are you
I'll
a cheapskate?
suffer in silence. Oh, man, I'm legendary.
Are you legendary?
I love it.
I think I have heard that he's a legendary cheapskate.
Yeah, you're a cheapskate.
Why?
Well, if you look,
don't you have miles you can upgrade with?
I've been working on it, man. It's hard, Norton.
Yeah, but dude, first class and business class tickets in defense are just so ridiculous.
They really are expensive, but
they are.
When you're
get that extra $2,000 on your credit card, it's like,
but this is an 8-hour trip. I mean, I can suffer a book. Ginger's creating memories for me now that I'm going to refer to over there. And if you see, I donated the advance, 100% of the advance to two groups that work with victims of sexual abuse. This is where I drag your show down here.
Drag your show? What do you mean? You're sexying it up.
It's half the female guests we've had on this show.
So you
if it wasn't for those creeps, we wouldn't have the freaks coming on here.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the groups is RAIN, Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Opie.
And the other one is the group that I sponsor kids through. The money involved goes to victims of rape from the...
Wow.
But my daughter, read the flap cover. That's where they learned that Dad was donating the money. She was all over me, like, how can you be so cheap at home and then give all your money
That
away?
is a good point. Why is that?
Yeah, can we talk about your cheapness? What do you do at home that drives your kids?
Thing?
That drives your kids nuts.
I have not purchased anything for myself for years.
Why?
I bought 2 pairs of $15 warm-up pants because I'm on a book tour and I had to look good.
But why, Mick? It's odd. You're not broke, are you?
I like making money. I like saving it. I like investing
Looking at it.
I like giving it to places, but I don't like spending.
But how about your family notice? Are you cheap with them too?
Cheaper than they'd like.
But
no, I want examples of that.
That's an OCD type of thing. There's a weird, because I knew a guy like Jason, who was obsessively cheap to the point where it was sociopathic.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just like being smart, it was being ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It's like, you're not enjoying your money. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be. Because I was one of those guys who would... I was a WWE champion, and I was sleeping on couches of fans or on the cot at the Red Roof. And you want to know, this is what made me, I'll be honest, this is the moment where I changed. This was like a defining moment for me. I slept on a couch in St. Louis, and that morning, there must have been 15, 20 horrible-looking people coming over, knocking on the door. And I was like, well, I had the belt. I was like, well, they probably just want to see the champ. I shouldn't look down on people no matter how scummy they may look and how early they're getting over here. And 2 days later, my friend from St. Louis calls me up to apologize for all the people coming over. I said, well, that's all right. They probably wanted to see the belt, meet the champ. And he goes, no, they weren't there to see you. And I said, what were they there for? And he said, my girlfriend's a crack dealer. And at that point, I was like, maybe the Red Roof doesn't look so...
But why did you put yourself through that, the unpleasantness of that, even if they were fans?
Yeah, because you can get a really cheap hotel.
But why would you...
And I've laid in those.
What's the use of money if you're not living
because
great?
Norton, you never knew when it was going to run out. That was the problem.
Yeah,
You never knew.
But so what if it did? You couldn't be any worse. If it ran out, you already know you can sleep with fans.
That's what I just said. You still don't sleep with your fans. I
don't get it.
Do you sleep with your fans?
No, you sleep with your fans.
I really
you
don't.
fuck them and then leave. Then I go to my 5-star hotel suite. I leave them in their fucking shitty Datsun.
But I will. In my defense, when WWE when they had me doing something promotional, they'd pick up the tab.
Sure.
And they were putting me in lesser hotels than they would the other talent.
Oh shit!
And then
so
I said, and they said, well, we knew you didn't like classy hotels, and I said, no, I myself may not be classy, but I have no problem in staying in a classy hotel. I like the big hotels and the nice hotels. And I've got miles. I'll spring for it.
They're
I'm pretty
write-offs,
good.
though, Mick. They're write-offs for business. They're all for your book tour. And it's like the reason I fly myself first is because most times other people fly me. So it's like I get fucking I get lucky in the contractual.
When you're on a book tour, you're not getting paid, but you can eat whatever you want and bill it to the company. And I don't bill anything to the company.
Why?
And I just said, I say in this book, I said, I'm sorry. I will not pay for $50 eggs no matter who's paying for them. And I never have, and I never will.
That's a weird. I understand the idea of being smart with money, but it's like I get so lucky where I get flown. Like I'm not having to fly myself. So what? 5 or 6 flights a year.
That comes out of your end. That's going to come out of your end.
See, I need to move into.
No, when NBC flies me somewhere or whatever. No,
not that. I mean, if you're doing like a stand-up gig, that's the thing. I realize, like when you sit there and you go into the green room and there's the whole spread that they put out there.
It does come out.
That's all your money.
But that's why my deli trays are very small. I don't waste money. But when they give me X amount of dollars and then they give a flight buyout, I use that. And sometimes if it's 3 hours or less, I'll fly coach because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But long flights, fuck that. I'm 42. Like, what am I going to do with what am I waiting until I'm 80 and I'm going to spend it all on one great blowjob? The fuck am I going to do with that? And I don't mean waste it on fucking $200,000 cars, but if you got to travel, you're a big dude.
Dude,
man.
I did that for like 2 months thinking I was at the level I could fly first class, and I got that $6,000 credit card bill just in plane tickets, and I was just like, I think I'll sit in the back.
100% write-off, though.
100% write-off. If it's longer than 6 hours, if I'm flying overseas, then I'll do it. Other than that, I'll sit there with my knees in my chest.
Well, you guys that are flying all the time, it is crazy to just pay for yourself in first class.
Florida's a waste because you don't really get a meal.
No,
it's not. I'm not. If it's $300 or $900, I'm not going to spend $900 to go to Florida. It's stupid.
Yeah, but he doesn't even buy clothes for himself.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about
here's
that.
the paradox.
We're not even close to normalcy here.
I will not buy clothes myself, but I will risk half the money I've made in my life to have Ginger Lynn sitting on my lap on video.
There you go. See?
Writhing uncontrollably.
See? Oh,
there we go.
How many books?
Say goodbye to that money.
Hold on. I'm not done with this. Someone outside the studio saying someone has to go, and they're getting really obnoxious about it.
Who is it? Me?
Sorry.
I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
But they're giving like an obnoxious wrap it up. Who?
I can stay. I can stay.
Well, okay.
Well, you're
I jumped
distracting
off.
everybody.
She just wanted me off your lap. Now I know what it is.
I like to find the loopholes, the marriage loopholes.
Saying, that Mick's crazy about his money talk. I guess she's from the book company.
All right. Something weird was going on. It's like, come in if you have something to say. We have an open door.
So. I want to get back on this because it's an interesting person because you're such a nice guy and you seem like a generous guy. You don't seem like a self-centered asshole.
He's charitable, but not to himself.
Were you raised poor?
We were frugal. I didn't know when I was growing up.
Sounds like cube steaks to me.
A lot of cube steaks, and my friends would come over to my house and wear their winter coats because the heat was down like at 56 or so.
When you were a kid or as an adult, you mean?
When I was a kid.
So that horrible lesson you kind of stuck with, and it's like you're not going to run out. You got enough.
You never know.
Chip beef on toast.
But what do you need that you couldn't get if you ran out? Like, couldn't you put X amount of money away and then just go, I will not touch that?
I've done that. But I just sleep easier at night knowing that I don't really need anything.
What was the last time you treated yourself? You just like to hell with it.
He doesn't.
No, I got to get in on. I got to get in on this because I think I was raised similar to Mick, where my mom convinced all of us that we were going to be on the street at any moment. Did you have that type of thing going on in your house, where the money was going to run out?
No.
My mom was frugal. I didn't get the fucking heat. None of that shit. I didn't get new clothes, new sneakers, none of that. So as I grew up, I became kind of cheap as well because I was scared that at any moment I was going to be broke. Right?
Yes. And that's, breaking into wrestling, there was absolutely no money.
Right.
And now I look at it, I get my own room, and I get a decent hotel when it's up to me. I'm not as cheap as rumor would have it. But I will not order $50 eggs, no matter who's
but you're
picking
sleeping
up the
on
tab.
fans' couches. That's insane.
Not anymore. That's just
but when you were
exactly
huge,
yeah.
when I met Mick Foley, I was on the Long Island Railroad. He couldn't have been bigger in the WWF at the time. And he's on the fucking Long Island Railroad. I'm looking at this guy like, why aren't you getting a car to bring into the city?
And I was thinking the same thing about you, pal. I thought this guy was successful. He's taking the train.
The radio show was pretty successful. What the fuck were we doing on that train? But we grew up very
cheap
similar.
Fucks on the Long Island Railroad.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, that's
the Chisler Express.
I think it's hilarious that you're thinking the same thing because I'm looking at you like he's like the. I think you were the champion at the time, and we're on a shitty Long Island Railroad.
I had the belt.
You had the belt with you.
Meanwhile, nobody's even mentioned my medal of
reasonableness. What is it? Because we think it's a Special Olympics thing. We're all
Special Olympics.
What's that medal?
Medal of reasonableness.
I was given this by Jon Stewart at the Rally to Restore Saturday.
Right,
There's only 4 of them out there.
Medal of reasonableness.
So therefore,
you were being reasonable.
That's pretty funny.
This is a reasonable question. All right, we would like Ginger to do something.
Yes, let's get it back to Ginger.
Fair enough. Do you think? I mean, this is just
an idea,
hypothetical. Would you be able to achieve orgasm on my knee?
Holy shit! Now we're talking, Ginger.
Let's get money out. What do people think?
Riding it.
And can we bet how long it would take?
Yes.
I bet she could.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt she can.
So we've got 3 yeses.
Yeah, but now
you know what? Just to keep it interesting, I'm going to say no.
All right.
Oh, Bill. Here we go. Get your money up. There's got to be a time limit, though. Let's put some pressure here.
No, she's going to absolutely get an orgasm going. $20 a man. Nick, how long do you think it would take?
I'll bet an under over then.
How long do you think it would take her to get off on Mick Foley's knee?
What's your quickest time?
You know, by myself, I'm actually a humper, so I do this a lot.
Okay. So this is a
not on other people. You know,
is that how, do you come like on your stomach humping something?
I do. I hump,
pillows or whatever?
My hands, pillows, the washcloth. Traveling, I've done everything from the shampoo bottle to a spoon, you know, whatever it takes.
It would be like name that tune.
Yeah, that's what
I can have an orgasm. And what's the
so
over
now
under?
you got to be.
What's the over under?
Well, let me give you guys something to look at. Though, if I'm going to try this, pull up GingerLynnAuctions.com.
Oh, no problem there,
so you can see. And I want to see if there's a dildo I think that I have in my pussy. I wish I had my vibrating panties right now.
You know what is so nice is that maybe after this episode we could
the Belichick panties.
Both our undergarments.
Can I have your panties? Are you wearing panties, boxers, or briefs? What are you wearing, Nick?
They're Fruit of the Looms.
You've got Fruit of the Looms?
Yeah, and they're brand new, or they were brand new.
So glad Nick's happily married.
There's my pussy.
We see that, please? Thank you.
Now click on the top bar, because you can see my pussy with the stockings in the lower left corner right there. Yeah. See? That's
really. Who designed the website?
I did.
Shit. Let's go.
You don't like it?
No, we love your website. I'm sorry. We love it.
He's saying drop the puck.
Okay.
Yeah, we want you to drop the puck. GingerLynnAuctions.com. It's a wonderful website. I want to know who your web designer is because it's just terrific.
It's me.
Wow, look at you.
Yes, it's very nice. Now, if I do this, Nick, are you going to put your Fruit of the Looms up on GingerLynnAuctions.com?
2 minutes?
Well, Ginger.
Well, I need his pants. If I'm going to do this, I want Mick's panties.
We're going to organize this, though. We got $20 a man. Guaranteed less than 5 minutes, right?
Yes.
All right.
Price is right. Closest to orgasm time without going over.
And it's just my knee, so technically this is a loophole, right?
I'm wearing jeans. You're wearing pants.
Put down
everything.
The times. I'm going to go with 2 minutes. 2 minutes 20 seconds. Bill Burr. Anybody else?
1 second. You know that cunt who always says $1. I'm not going to do that.
Let's just do
a minute 47.
All right, let's write this down.
Another pertinent question here for Ginger. Is Christy going to be upset with me?
Anybody else in on this?
No, I have no money. $20.
I'm on the Playboy show. I've never done anything, right?
No, you haven't.
I reject all the advances.
What'd you say, Bill?
I said a minute 47.
You know, I don't think it's a bad thing because we both have our clothes on. I know that you and Christy have a thing. I don't want you cheating on Christy. I'm not cheating on my man because I'm fully clothed.
Yeah.
So I think that there is a loophole here and we'll be all right.
It's a comedy
gray
bit.
area.
It's
for the comedy.
But what I do like is that they closed all the curtains around here. Everybody.
We have to because of human resources, so that we don't put somebody walks by, they get offended, we're in trouble.
Okay.
Anybody else in? And Yin?
No, I'm just gonna look.
I don't want to bet. I
don't even know what to bet.
So you're the only, we have
We're the
nobody
two
in but
degenerate
you?
gamblers here.
It's me and Bill Burr.
That's it?
I say that she's going to get off on Mick Foley's knee in 2 minutes 20 seconds. Bill's going with a minute 47. You really don't want in on this?
I say.
I'll just watch.
All right.
I say 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Flat.
Yes.
Now, what are you guys going to be doing? Well, I'm getting a little nervous now. I'm getting a little
staring there.
shy.
Awkward. Ah, damn it. Come on. Don't look at her. I got a minute 47.
I'm thinking if you're looking at me, I don't know if I can do this.
I'm going to eat a couple of Junior Mints. Let me have one of those Junior Mints, Dan.
All right, turn down the lights. Turn down the lights.
Yes, turn down the lights.
I'm going to angrily
we'll show you my
eat Junior
panties
Mints.
first. You guys want to see what I'm wearing underneath of this?
Yeah,
I'd love
of course
to.
we do.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Lights
I
are
didn't
dimmed
really-
a little bit.
Ginger will be facing me or away from me?
I'm going to have to face you.
Okay.
Ginger, a little.
If I look at anybody else, I won't be able to do it.
All right.
I actually get shy.
Could I have a breath mint
hi,
in that
guys.
case? I'll take the Junior Mint.
You take a Junior Mint
So
too?
here's the panties that we have for the...
All right. She's got her little, what are those? Like a little black lacy number. Little black lacy number
Are you
thing
okay
going
with
on.
this, Nick?
I am really okay with that.
The panties are working for you?
Yep, they're working.
Got that.
Is there any way Sam could turn off the camera so I could claim it was just
Yeah,
a
Sam, I think maybe. Sam,
you cock blocker.
Sam, what the fuck are you?
Fuck.
TMZ, you
Sammy.
motherfucker?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Well, you guys
Turn
have
that
to tell
thing
me you're
down.
actually going to be talking and not
What are
just...
you, the
I'm not going
internet?
to... I'm just getting shy.
All right. I'll talk
don't
about
you
my
worry.
Yeah, don't
my
worry
new
about it.
DVD available
Okay, there
on
we go.
iTunes.
iTunes.
You saw it on Comedy Central.
are you
They
ready,
cut
Nick?
out 21 minutes of it.
That
Isn't that
son of a
incredible?
bitches.
Not
Wow.
as incredible as what's going on in here.
But you'll be able to see that cut
Yeah,
out?
they cut out 21 minutes,
just-
like
Should
a
we get
third
to
of the
see
damn
it?
special.
We get to see all, that 21 minutes?
Yes, you do. You get to see
Oh, so
21
it's
minutes.
extra.
There's all kinds of extras.
Oh, good. I like that.
She's not taking off her jeans.
No, she just showed her panties.
All right, all right, Danny, you start them up.
Right?
Yes.
Hold on, Gingerland, listen to Danny.
All right.
It's really hard to
we'll
get
count.
going
We'll do
here.
it at the start. We'll count down from 3, and then I'll start the timer. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
All right. She is on Mick Foley's right leg.
She's grinding on his leg.
Yeah. She's riding it.
He's sitting there.
She really is
87.
slowly,
Anticipation is really building in the studio.
slowly grinding.
She's grinding on his leg.
Forward and backwards, and then she does a little circular motion there. That's nice.
Classic
she's-
hole here at Augusta.
Breathing very deeply.
Yes, she's
have a
got
mic
her
on?
arms
Subtle
wrapped
difference
around
in the
Mick's
breath.
neck.
She's grinding
Yes, Mick's rubbing her
like
back.
she's making
That's nice.
sand or something.
That's good. She is getting off. She's going faster.
It's a
now.
nice feeling.
She's going faster.
I'm not breaking any marital vows.
I like,
outwardly.
Mick, you look more like you're soothing her, like it's going to
I'm
be
soothing.
okay.
Exactly.
She's had a bad day.
Yeah.
How are you still married? I mean, let's be honest.
Yes, looks like you're burping her.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh, Uncle Paul. Yeah, she's kind of going really fast, a little harder now.
Would you be able to get away with that?
Mick, you feeling any heat on your leg now?
Yeah, because she's
still have a
famous.
relationship?
Yeah, because she's famous. Yeah.
Okay. All right, she's
The way her ass moves,
Yeah,
that is
faster and
really...
faster.
That's very intimate looking, though.
Well, she's used to.
Ginger can
she's
feel
done that
free to
for years.
whisper naughty things to me if she wants.
She's trying to pretend you're anyone but you.
Don't make her laugh. Come on, I want to win that money.
Yeah, come on, no laughing. No laughing.
Sure.
I think we're...
There it is.
Whoa, look at her. She's pulsing.
That's really sexy.
That's my girl.
Wow.
God, her ass looks good.
Holy shit.
Grinding it.
That was it.
I saw her. Yeah, I think we called it.
That was really sexy to watch the way her,
How much
her
time?
ass was grinding on his
Yeah,
leg.
yeah,
When
like,
she was pretty much done, it was right about 1:30.
That's great.
Ooh, 130.
Wow.
Nice.
That was very intimate.
Bill Burr pulls it off and
Taking the money.
takes the cash.
Yay.
Wow.
Billy wins.
How warm is your leg?
It's warm.
Yeah.
Does he have a heart on, Ginger?
Jesus H. Christ. I think you've got a hard on.
I was a good girl. I didn't touch it.
No, just the visual. Does it look like? I mean, he wears sweatpants. It's pretty easy to figure
It's
out.
looking very nice.
Oh, Mick.
And I'm saying anatomically, there's a long distance between my knee and my other body part.
I
so
hear you.
Yes.
That's a good alibi.
I feel I have a clear conscience. I cannot run for public office.
No, that's long gone.
Listen, we got to take a break because we got a big-time director coming in here. A movie that is getting great reviews, Four Lions. Chris Morris is going to be in studio next. You guys can hang, certainly.
Yeah, hang out.
What's the big plugs, just in case we get busy?
Your book?
Oh yeah, my book Countdown to Lockdown, available bookstores everywhere. I'll be on the Daily Show the 10th of this month, and I have a comic book coming out in the middle of the month called RPM.
And whose couch will you be sleeping on tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine.
I may not be.
I'm a fan.
You can catch Mick. He'll be in the middle section on the flight to Singapore.
Right.
In the middle section, middle seat.
And sleeping in his own basement.
Thank you, Bill.
Away from his wife. And Ginger, what are we plugging there?
My new show on Spice Radio. That's Sirius 108, XM 248, and GingerLynAuctions.com.
Are you doing any from here?
No, doing it out of the Los Angeles studio.
Okay.
So when you're in L.A., Jimmy, maybe you do the show.
Yeah, come on
I'm
in.
even not out there on a Monday. I'm going to be out there next week.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Oh,
maybe.
come. We'll talk.
All right.
I'd love you Monday.
All right, very good.
Sirius XM, the virus.
I can't believe anyone is still listening to this show.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
Unbelievable. We got Bill Burr in studio. Really fast, because we got Chris Morris walking into the studio. Bill's got a DVD out that's doing really well, and I did not know this. It was on Comedy Central. I didn't know that, the special.
Right.
But the DVD has 21 minutes more material that most people didn't see.
Because it's an hour and 5 minutes long. The 5 minutes is already gone, and then you have 16 minutes of commercial. So what's killing me is people have only they missed a third of the special, and they cut out 2 killer bits. The thing about the bankers microchipping you,
all right,
and and the one about the automated checkout lines. It's funny they cut those 2 bits out, but me talking about thinking about committing suicide, they're like, that's fine. That part's fine. We'll leave that in. Yeah, just
part of the Illuminati.
As long as you don't mess with our scams, so we're fine with it.
The headline is "Get Bill Burr's latest DVD. You get a lot more material."
Yeah, it's been doing great on.
Sorry about the burn. I just
great.
shoved an omelet down my throat in 3 minutes.
All right, yeah, it's
a busy show today.
Been doing great on iTunes, and it would be awesome if you go out. It makes a great Christmas gift for somebody you don't give a shit about, but have to buy a gift for. It's $20. Here you go, asshole. Yuck it up. See you next year.
Order now.
There you go. I'm done whoring myself up.
Bill, to your right, Chris Morris. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
A few of us saw Four Lions and just absolutely loved it. This movie that's coming out, I think, coming out tomorrow in L.A. and New York, right?
Yeah. A few other places as well. I don't have the list with me, but, you know.
Yeah,
we're up and down the country.
Pleasantly surprised, and Jim Norton said that he now, has faith in comedy again.
I love this movie so much because everything is such politically correct shit, and they always wreck it. And I'm like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm loving this movie, and I'm like, they're gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna hate this by the end. I know they're gonna do it, and you didn't do it. It was like
so how could we have fucked it up at the end then?
I don't want to say the ending. I don't want to give away the ending.
Yeah, see,
you know what I mean? But I will say this: it didn't go in the direction I thought it was going to go in. To me, you humanize suicide bombers, but not in an apologetic, make the people they're trying to kill feel guilty way.
Yeah, I mean, look, that kind of mission, you're heading towards a wall. So I guess you were saying you don't want somebody to say, stop the car, get out, go and have a picnic just before you hit the wall, right?
Or that we're stupid to think that people would be suicide.
That's how you would have fucked it up, obviously.
Yeah.
But we don't want to, that's a big part of the movie.
Well, there's an afterlife.
I think it could have
goes on
fucked up
forever,
by
right?
being Queen Latifah in it as the sassy black woman. That would have wrecked it.
Well, how about we start with this?
They could have wrecked it by making some dog shit social message that was meant to preach to people not to be Islamophobe. And there was none of that. It was just, these guys are complete bumbling idiots.
You don't want finger wagging, do you?
No.
I mean, you just don't want that in a film.
No.
If you get that in a film, go home. I mean, people should burn
I like when
cinemas
films make up my mind for me. This is just being spoon-fed.
Yeah, but no, we played it to people, right? And people put it, ask questions at the end. One or two people go, can you tell me what I think?
Can you tell me what I think?
Yeah, I know, you get that.
Can we start with what the movie's about in your words?
Okay, it's about bumbling jihadi terrorists.
There you go. That's basically what we said.
But there's so many cases where that actually happens. I mean, have you heard of the bottle rocket bomber?
No.
Okay, well, there was some trouble with ink cartridges last Friday.
Right.
Right. The guy that made those bombs decided, because they're dissident Saudis, and he wanted to kill a Saudi prince, and he thought the best way to do this was to turn his brother into a bomb. So he had a word with his brother. His brother agreed. The bomb mechanism, suppository, basically.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh no!
So and so basically he goes to see the Saudi prince, and the plan is he goes, "Hello, Prince," and hits the button. But they got the dynamics wrong, because if you let off a bomb in a tent, it's very different to letting it off in a hard room. In a hard room, the explosion comes back and you achieve your aim. This is in a tent. So he saw the prince, he hit the button and fired himself straight through the ceiling. And the prince just goes, "Oh well, next."
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure how high he got. I was talking to an intelligence analyst about this, right? But he couldn't give me the height. But I'm hoping it was over 50 feet.
Wow. So you don't hear enough about terrorists miserably, or how dumb a lot of these guys are.
There are a few videos out there that you could see of guys with like Stinger missiles that don't quite work.
Loads.
Missiles that just fall out of the front, and they're like, "Oh," and they just go running away from the thing. It's hysterical. Some of these, they're really bumbling.
I know
they
the
blow
one.
themselves up. I've seen a lot of videos because they video them, and they're like, and then something horrible happens. They're like, "Ah!"
But I don't know how you feel about this. But that one you just described, they're Canadians.
Yes,
the one with the huge. I mean, when I saw that, I thought, "Are we going to be able to match this in the film?" Because that is
really
the funniest.
funny.
I mean, even if you told someone it's the funniest thing that they're ever going to see, they'd still laugh. You could never let it down.
The missile just falls out of the front of the launcher right in front of these guys, and they're all just like, "Ah!"
It's like giving birth. Away. It's like the launcher just gives birth to this.
It was so crazy. A lot of people thought it was a fake video. There's no way this actually happened.
No, because they were scared shitless, so they went running away from it.
There was a cool thing. The relationship between these guys. Like one of the guys, Omar's name was kind of the smarter guy who was running it. And then there was the more radical guy who they just wanted to shut the fuck up because he kept drawing attention to them by saying, and he's like, what did he say? Like, "I'm not drawing attention." They're like, "You put a Twin Towers cake outside the synagogue on 9/11. Hide in plain sight." It was really fucking...
Hide in plain sight.
The great dialogue between these guys was fucking great.
Who came up with the dialogue for the movie?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, obviously I'm here, and none of the other writers are here, so it was all me.
So it was all you. Yeah, very good. You're a smart man.
There's a bit of improvisation.
Because the writing is right on.
We were wondering, because if you notice, I think even England seems to be more PC as far as catering to Muslims than the United States even.
You mean going around and giving them food?
Well, not catering in that way. Although I don't know England. Perhaps. Just being more politically correct, making sure to not offend. It seems to be that they call it the nanny state.
It's black and white for here, and Islam and non-Islam. It seems like for there.
It's weird, because I think there's kind of in Britain there's a sort of submerged. You kind of like disguise your racism. I think that's the way it works. It's kind of like polite racism.
Oh, that's.
Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
I think that's it. There's quite a lot of it. But it's very different, because I mean, there's kind of 1 million people whose families come from back in Pakistan, and they've been around for 50 years, and people just tend to think, okay, well, shut up unless you make a good curry, is the kind of feeling that you get. Yeah. But I mean, it's not quite as you describe. But I think, when you get kind of super liberals, they're allowed to be racist as well, but they have to pretend they're not. Right. So it's kind of that's probably the impression.
Have you gotten any flack for this from any? Because it's an amazing topic to fucking attack in a comedy, and you really go in depth with it, and you show them. The opening is the guy's trying to make his suicide video, which is when they talk to camera and whatever, but the guy's gun is too small, and it just looks ridiculous. He's holding a tiny gun, and they're like, he's like, "I'll sit closer to the camera," and he sits close to the camera, and they're like, "Cut." It was really funny, man. They show all these outtakes, and
that's great.
You really seem to have captured what these guys do.
But you get those, I mean, you get those in court cases. They come up. Sometimes they stop people before they get too far, and they intercept them before they make an explosive, and then you see the kind of evidence and some of that stuff. And there's guys basically sitting there doing their videos, and I mean, this is for real, and they kind of get halfway through some rant, and then they either run out of words. They're trying to describe the hell they're going to rain on our heads, and they just literally run out of words and stop and just look stupid. Or there's one guy saying halfway through, he goes, "So what was the question again?" Like, it really not.
So did you research some actual tapes? Like, how did you find out what they were doing?
Obviously,
there's thing. I mean, because when you go to court, they're all too happy to. I mean, these guys who basically got 600 kilos of fertilizer, right? And they wanted to make it into a bomb. They'd gone to Pakistan to learn how to make it into a bomb. They'd come back. They'd had a few conversations, conversations about who's cooler, Bin Laden or Johnny Depp. Seriously, and then they'd realised they'd forgotten how to make a bomb. So they started phoning up Pakistan again, saying, yeah, listen, bro, the bomb recipe you told us, at which point the line goes dead. And then they're sitting around going, having ridiculous conversations. They call each other, one guy, there was 6 Pakistanis and a Moroccan. The Moroccan used to call the Pakistanis, you hairy hobbits. So he'd come into the room and you'd hear this stuff. They had like stoner conversations. Like they didn't know what one of them had a baby had a Doberman, and they couldn't work. They didn't even know that a Doberman was a kind of dog. You know, it's kind of really ridiculous conversations you wouldn't dare make up.
You always just assumed they were great at one take. That they did it in one take.
Oh, they had that level of passion.
Yeah.
Then when you really think about it, it's like, how dumb would you have to be to have some other guy convince you?
Yeah, this
to
movie,
blow yourself up. I'm going to keep living.
But the guy that's doing the convincing, right? He's probably got to be brighter than the guy that's getting convinced.
You would think.
Yeah. So that's why you get freakish things like qualified doctors sort of driving flaming cars into airports, which we had a few years ago. You know, qualified doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
You just humanized the whole thing. You really did.
Well, you love doctors. You love the doctor. There's engineers. There's nurses. What's your favorite
That's
profession?
Nothing but doctors. Doctors brings it around.
I mean, I'm looking at Jimmy. There's so much we want to say about this movie, but we don't want to give away a lot of the punchlines.
I don't want to blow it, but the audience, I think, knows our sensibilities with comedies, and they always blow it. And this one didn't. It was really, really funny and smart and dark. Let's just say this. There were everybody does not live. I'm only going to say that. I'm not going to say everybody does not live, and you never see a death in a comedy. You just don't see it. Every time something happens, the guy gets out of the tank and he's okay.
Right.
And there are, let's just say,
he's
couple
got
of
soot on his face or something.
Happy or unhappy.
Couple of whoopsie daisies.
But there's weird rules about this, right? Because we all know the bit in Raiders of the Lost Ark where the guy gets the sword out and he just gets shot, right? And that's the punchline. There's some weird sort of rule. It is nothing to do with whether it's right or wrong. It's kind of there's a guy in the film that gets killed, and he's just a sort of. This will sound terrible, right? He's nothing to do with it. He's an innocent bystander. He's a functionary part. But we thought we had to kind of make people dislike him before he actually goes up. We had to make him do something awful before he got killed. Not at all. It doesn't matter. If you haven't followed him, if he hasn't sort of been hallowed in some way in the film, you just don't care. I mean, look, the general, Buster Keaton's the general. The kind of climax scene of that is a massacre in a ravine. But you're not sitting there going, oh my God, it's a massacre in a ravine. You're going, hey, look at Buster, he's dancing around in front of the guns being stupid. It's kind of, it's a weird rule that you should have to make everything nice and everybody
It's sort of like those Corona commercials.
What happens?
There's these Corona commercials where the guy just can't win.
Right.
That whole just pandering to females. She squeezes the lime because he's looking at a hot chick, and then she looks at a hot guy, so he shakes up her beer. But because she's a woman, she's got to grab the other beer. And it's just, the whole thing is just guys are dumb, which is just completely acceptable to put out there. You can never have, like, the female losing that. That's like that political correctness kind of things. Where it's just
always.
Well, the main reason is, though, because with Corona, we're going to pump enough down her dumb throat and then fuck her while she's half asleep. So we do win in the end.
Dude, that movie.
Too many and clock her in the eye.
that movie, The Social Network, like, women's groups were offended the way that they portrayed it, that these nerds who nobody wanted to fuck, when all of a sudden they made $1 billion, all of a sudden all these good-looking chicks came out of nowhere and wanted
that's what happens.
No, you can't say that. They make it seem like gold-digging whores are on the same level of, like, Bigfoot, like they don't exist. And it's like, they do.
Okay, but I think nobody's going to say if you sit in front of a camera with a small gun and forget your words that's going to make you sexy. Although there is an element of self.
No.
There is an element. You meet. What's weird is that you meet guys who've adopted this kind of language as street talk because basically, it's the next cool thing. So they'll hang around on the street and they won't be wearing gold. They'll just be saying, "Bro, listen, man, I'm going to come and get you, and I've got a big beard, and you should watch out because we're going to be bigger than Osama." And they're not. They're not. They're going to go back home and they're going to just, their mum's going to give them supper and they're going to go to bed.
Is there an equivalent here in the United States? Like, I don't mean as far as terrorism goes, but like a gang member or something. Is that what you would equate some of these fanatics with? Like,
I don't know. I mean, people say. These guys, they like 20 years ago, they'd have been punks or something, and it's not quite like that. There's a different thing going on, but there is something that maybe happened here that's a bit similar with the KKK, and the fact they got infiltrated by Stetson Kennedy, and then he decided he was trying to campaign against them. He revealed all of their passwords and crazy names, the Grand Dragon and all of that stuff, to the Superman radio show. And the Superman radio show wrote it up in the 50s, and it came out on air, and then all the kids started running around going, yeah, Grand Dragon, and all the rest, and the KKK couldn't hack it. They said, what the hell are our kids saying this for? And it just cut the recruitment overnight. So, you know, you can feel that maybe things kind of shift in that way if you put a comedy on them.
It was really weird, too. Like, there was one line in the movie which showed you a great insight into these guys. They were talking, like, about blowing themselves up, and the one guy either said to him or he said it about himself. He goes, I'll be in heaven before my head hits the ceiling.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know that's something that they say. That's a way they look at it. Like, before your head hits the ceiling, you're in paradise. Like, you know that line has really been used.
Right, do you? Okay, that's good, because, I mean...
Did you guys make that up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, that's, to me, too exact a conversation.
That's like the car salesman. But what do we have to do here today?
To get you.
What?
It does depend, right? Because, you know, these stories about when people were guillotined in France, and people sort of thought, I wonder if the head can last longer, you know, well, like, once it's cut off, does it know what's happened? And there were even people who did experiments, you know, doctors who said to people who are about to be executed, look, can you do me a favor? I'm going to ask you a question after your head's come off.
Wow.
Now, you've got no air coming through your larynx to make a voice noise, but maybe if you could just wink with your right eye for yes and your left eye for no, you know, kind of like, can I interview your head after I've cut it off? And then, of course, well, come on, you know, you chop a head off, I think it's going to do some weird things, right?
It probably
it'll probably do that. Right? And he goes, it does, it knew me, I understood, you know.
It's a little twitchy.
A bomber, maybe, I mean, because the head is the bit that lasts longest. And they even thought early on, you know, maybe they would have a sort of slow motion scene going up with a head. I mean, this is when the film, before we'd kind of like really sort of just spitballing, and you stick with a head, and we're thinking, what would be the last thought to go through somebody's head? And we kind of like wanted something really random, like it was going, oh, I didn't expect to feel hungry. But, you know, how long do you last after the moment? I don't know. How can we test it?
No clue.
Yeah, no one knows.
Can we test it now? It's not regulated, right?
Well,
so there's
Stevie's not here today, so I guess
no FCC.
This is the shock to your system.
Get a volunteer.
Right.
Can you do that?
Oh, we got a few
in the
people
safety of satellite radio,
well
right? A beheading for science.
Where's he, Rock?
Hey, death threats. You worried about death threats or anything?
Are you going to make one?
Nah, fuck.
Listen, I got a death. I got a death threat for you know, working on radio a long time ago. Kuyanis? No, what? I thought you were going to compliment my lunch.
I was going to say you must have huge balls because, you know, doing a movie like Four Lions, I'm thinking you might get a death threat or two.
Well, look, I mean, a lot of the Muslim guys that I met during the research and their families were just saying, oh, it's going to be a comedy, bring it on. So unless they were trying to trick me to go out on a limb.
Did you actually talk to jihadists?
Well, not guys who are currently planning anything.
No, but I mean, like, you know, people who are at least were involved with it and are out of it now.
Well, you talk to people and they get in a weird situation. So, like, when I talked to people who went to fight in Bosnia in the 90s, but that was a time when Margaret Thatcher, recently out of power, said, I think British Muslims should go and fight against the Serbs, go and help the, you know, so you get people, they can say, they can tell you stories from that kind of training camp because it's not incriminating, but nobody says, yeah, I've just come back from training camp, and you know what? They're gone. So the latest things, you rely on kind of court cases and stuff. But I spoke to people. I spoke to a guy who fought alongside bin Laden against the Russians in the 90s, and then he had a major disagreement with him and said, oh, you know, you've gone mad, and I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Did he have the actual disagreement, or did bin Laden just say something that he secretly disagreed with and he got the fuck out of Dodge?
You know what? It's funny. He actually went, he traveled deliberately to a conference in order to stand up and declare that they'd gone overboard. You know, there's this kind of weird thing. It's kind of, you know, sometimes people like, Peter Bergen, you know, CNN, people who've interviewed bin Laden, they say he's a very polite man. So it's kind of like against the rules, even if you're, you know, planning mass destruction. If somebody stands up and disagrees with you, there was another guy, there was an Algerian terrorist that bin Laden invited to go and visit him in Afghanistan. And he said, you know, the Algerian terrorist made a dangerous journey. He was a marked man. He said, what do you want? Bin Laden said, I want you to work for me, brother. And this guy said, I don't want to work for you. I'm my own man. I've got my own list of atrocities. I don't need to be part of your team. And I tell you what, if I ever hear from you again, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to cut your fucking head off. And I thought, how often do you imagine bin Laden sitting on his rock looking like a slapped child? You know, it's kind of, the dynamics are not quite the same. So this guy stood up and said, you've gone mad, this isn't working. You can't just go around blowing up people for no reason. And he left. 2000 was the year he left.
You think of him as like a Bond villain where he goes, okay, well, take care. And then the floor opens up and there's sharks in there and
I know.
Something happens.
I was thinking Scarface and that guy's hanging from the helicopter.
Omar.
No, he's a softie. I mean, he was interviewed. He was interviewed by a journalist. I mean, so you have to go through elaborate routines, like boots of car and that kind of thing. Just the trunk hide in the trunk of a car, go somewhere you don't know. But this journalist found himself in Bin Laden's cave, and he writes about the Middle East. And Bin Laden said, I like what you write. Would you like to work for us? And this journalist suddenly thought, okay, I'm alone here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. What do I say? Jesus. And he said, well, the thing is, Sheikh, I'm not a Muslim, which is a pretty good answer because, you can't argue with that. The result was that Bin Laden went, okay. And went and lay down on the couch in the corner of his cave, got out a newspaper, and basically going, what are you doing here? I'm not talking to you. I'm reading the paper. I'm not talking to you anymore. And he basically sulked for an hour. And it's not the kind of behavior you expect.
No.
From
wow.
Mr.
Did he eventually talk to him?
Wow.
Again? Yeah, he probably said, I'm going to do 3 more questions, and then I've got to go.
Wow.
Well, but he didn't. It's weird. But you would expect.
Did he eventually work for him?
No. But Bin Laden did speak to him at the end of the interview. He didn't.
He didn't just stay on the couch and go to sleep.
He didn't just throw him out.
He really is just a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. I think there is a bit of that.
Spoiled rich.
Yeah, he got everything he wanted growing up.
Lawrence Wright's book, The Looming Tower, describes Bin Laden's life, and it is quite like that. I don't think he had it hard.
Is he though? Was he like the real radical, or is it Al-Zawahiri? I think.
Yeah, no, he's
the Egyptian.
He's got all the words coming out of his mouth, hasn't he? Al-Zawahiri.
Yeah. He's the one. The Egyptian, I think, is the real fucking radical. Like Bin Laden, I guess, is the figurehead. And I'm sure approves of this stuff
and the money.
Yeah, but I think the guy below him is the real.
He's the one
problem.
who publishes all the documents, right? I mean, he's the one who comes up and does the newsletters. Bin Laden, I mean, do we know? I mean, do we even know when it's like a little note? He's gone a bit weird. He does book pluggings and things. He does his rhetoric's come unraveled. The other guys still write online, but I'm not sure. Somebody could be making that stuff up for Bin Laden. Remember he plugged a book a few years ago. That book, Rogue State. He sort of said, and I want you Americans. I think it was just before the election, and he was saying, I want you Americans to read a book. Rogue
More
State.
effective than Oprah?
It went up. Do you know what he was doing? I think he went up to
Bin Laden Book Club.
Hopefully Happy Endings is on there, Jimmy.
Happy endings.
Right.
We had a date with Osama. He's like a hunk now. Everybody wants to fuck him.
Hey, you think Bin Laden's alive still? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm the expert, right?
Well, you know a little more than us.
Yeah, you've spoken to more guys than we have.
Yeah, but no one. I mean, you suspect maybe he is from the fact that there's still a search for him. Mm-hmm. But I think the weird thing is that he's kind of over. He's still a figurehead, but he's still a sort of Che Guevara type figure. But he's there's new things happening. It's kind of quite dispersed. It's
like music. Every 5 years you need.
He had a difficult second album, didn't he? Yeah. And I'm not sure it's really, it's not even in utero what he's done.
And where do you think he is? Where do you think he's at if he's alive?
What is that?
Where do you think he's at?
Where? This is great. Yeah. This is going to be...
Well,
because if I say...
You live in that world, a little more in that world than we do.
You made a movie about it. You got to know something.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Look, come on. You don't turn up at someone's house and say, nice Pakistani family in Britain, and they say, come in, have some curry, and by the way, do you know where Bin Laden is?
Yeah.
We can tell you.
Where he is.
No. I mean...
What's the word on the street?
Listen, you could name... We could sit around here, we could name 5 cities, and they'd be toast by lunchtime. They'd be hit by drones. I don't know. I mean, they say he's hiding out in the mountains between Pakistan, but that's what we all think, right? I mean, what do you think? You think he's out somewhere else? You think he's kind of on a beach?
He's in some. I guarantee it's just some village or in Pakistan where they.
But
can't...
he's got to hide out because he's a pretty recognizable guy.
Yeah. Do you know how we heard?
What disguise would you choose?
It's a big place. You can't find him. You can find Saddam in the bottom of a manhole, middle of a desert, but they just can't seem to get this guy.
Yeah, Bill's all about. I like Bill's thoughts on this stuff.
You think he's got theories?
No,
they can't. The religious. I'm telling you, the religious fanaticism. Even though they've got al-Zarqawi this way with the $25 million ransom, the religious fanaticism around guys who are that close to him, the money doesn't mean anything to them. That's why they haven't caught the top 2 guys.
I can look at my apartment from space on the internet. They can't find it. Get the fuck out. It's ridiculous.
Are you
just one guy?
I love Billy.
No, he's serious.
They could have sent in the Navy SEALs and the those guys are punks. They have shit training. You could have sent in the Navy SEAls, the Rangers. They could have slit the guy's throat. They could have done it in 90 days.
Why are we leaving them alone?
There's no money in that. You got to send everybody over there. Send everything over there. $1 billion a day, and just make $1 zillion. We can't get the ref didn't see it. It's like wrestling.
But if they get him, doesn't it justify?
I don't know shit. I don't read books. It's just it's what my gut's telling me.
To send a shitload of equipment and manpower over there, and then you get some corporations for security. A lot of people make some money.
Yeah, but
do you think
behind
it's like a mini-series or something? Do you think that's why you feel cheated that they've kind of like withheld the obvious
it's like
ending?
Sam and Diane. Eventually,
I can see what's happening. There's no one. So where is he? Does he live here or does he not exist?
He's in Rhode Island. He's down there at the yacht club.
Or is he in Langley?
Yeah, look,
is he in Langley?
He's a rich kid. There's no way he's going to slum it that long in a cave. He shaves the beard. It's a glue-on. He just puts it on. They make it look grainy. They have a cave set that they put behind him. And they shoot it, and then he hangs out in Newport.
Now, should we talk about moon landings?
Never happened.
Yeah, okay.
He's in a village somewhere. That's all. These fucking tribal fucking regions that are hard for us to get to. And I really believe that they just haven't gotten him. I think the PR behind getting him would be so much bigger than anything that they can gain by not getting him. It would make everything that the U.S. did, at least at one point, look justified. There's too many people that would look good if they
Maybe we're just waiting. Give it a couple more years, then we'll get him.
Maybe. Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Talking to Chris Morris, because everyone's yelling, what's the movie, assholes?
It's called The Four Lions. We've said that. It's released in New York and L.A. Is there a website people can go to check out where it is?
It's at Draft House Films.
Congratulations on the reviews, man.
Yeah, 86%.
Positive reviews all over the place.
Yeah,
it's a smart movie, man. It's really, and it's funny. It's not smarmy smart and annoying smart. It's a funny fucking comedy. It's really well written.
Go ahead, Bill.
What is that like the morning of when you have a movie coming out and you're like, oh God, here come the critics? Like, do you just say like, don't call me if it's bad? Or do you literally search it yourself? What is the process?
I think you kind of get warmed up because it's a slow release and you can see how they work. But I think in this case, you're in a way it's quite easy and quite safe because the easiest way for a critic to make a fool of themselves is to sort of declare expertise in this area. And in order really to comment on the film in some ways, it's kind of critic-proof, right? Because people don't know that much about the subject. I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating, but it's. Right. Do you know? The other thing is, by the time you've made the film, you sort of, I don't know, you've brainwashed yourself into your own world. So any critic is kind of quite a long way out there. They'd have to come up to you. I mean, they find ways of getting into your head. I've gone mad. I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. They've got to me. I kind of, I'm in ribbons. I'm in bits. I don't know. Oh, look here. This is a list of cities.
Yeah,
We're bothered with that. So we've got New York, LA, we've got Seattle, Boston, DC, Austin, San Francisco. That's the first 7,
all the hip
and then we're
cities.
expanding to over 1,000.
Yeah,
that's
no, we're not.
It should be out.
If people go and see it, maybe we'll expand to 12.
I'm glad it's in other cities. I thought just New York and LA. That's why I heard.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
Much better for you. Yeah.
No, because honestly, I know you're being sarcastic, but we fucking are frustrated by comedies, and this is a smart comedy.
Yeah, most of them is just.
We hate fucking comedies at this point.
What was the last one you liked? What was the last one you saw?
Observe and Report.
Observe and Report was a great movie
with Ray Liotta and Seth Rogen. It was like he was a mall security guard, but the dialogue was fucking.
It's
brutal.
Mall Cop if you did it right.
Yeah,
because the Mall Cop got all the money, but this Observe and Report was so much better and so much funnier.
Did you have any resistance from any studios in the U.S.? Did any criticism from the business itself?
You mean if we're trying to raise money?
Like to put it out, go, well, the subject's a little. Did anybody, these fucking jizzbags, they had to have come after you with that shit.
I think you can guess, right? And if you did the face you did there and the voice, I mean, that kind of sums it up. Yeah. But we didn't have direct criticism, not direct intervention, because I think studios in the US didn't really care that much. But people did say that. The thing is that you get brave people. Often what you have is like in the same committee, brave people are just like, okay, yeah, we love this, and then other people just run and hide, and that's kind of the most frustrating thing because
are people really going to go on and want to? I
don't know who to root for in this.
Yeah, who's the winner?
Who am I rooting for?
Yeah, what's going to make me like these characters? It's like, you fucking.
I just can't see this being interesting for 90 minutes.
Oh, shut up!
How many times you just looked at that pen and pencil set on the?
Are you guys
both fucking jugulars?
Do I sense the damage here?
Yeah, we've all had
pitched and you've had a lot of rejection.
I wrote a comedy
meetings.
It just comes off as like misogynistic.
Dude,
what if the guy is like retarded? I had a scene in a pilot that I wrote where it was a guy. He has a Super Bowl party and all these chicks come over and they talk during the game. No, and then they shut up during the commercials, which is basically what happens. And then in the end, the real sports fans who've been there the whole time end up watching it on a small TV in the kitchen. That's all it was.
Bill.
And it came off.
What was the problem?
It was it made women look bad. It was misogynistic.
What network? What network?
What was that one?
Lifetime. Was it one of the majors?
What was that one?
What was that one? I can't even remember. That was.
It wasn't Comedy Central.
It might have been Fox. It's just anything.
Oh, God.
Anything, and I got to admit, all this bitching that they do in the business, I find 80% of the time I'm pitching to a woman.
Always.
Yeah,
wow.
and I got to get it
past
beyond their sensibilities, and it's like everything that you just, I don't know, like anything
nonsense.
that remotely.
You got to get clever, right? You got to just, keep the same script, but just swap the men and the women about.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Okay, and then once you got the right to make it, switch it back.
See, the women are the ones.
And then you play dumb. See, that's why you're making movies, and I'm
it's easy
thinking
to play
about
dumb.
stabbing people.
My film. It's so they're always worried about like how do you root for the guy, and it's like, and I think that in the Punchline Rapist, I think it'd be easy to root. He leaves a different Henny Youngman joke on every woman he brutally sodomizes.
Couldn't get that through, huh?
I just couldn't get it through.
It's too bad.
Yeah, there was a Henny Youngman issue, I think.
Couldn't get the rights to his jokes.
What Bill just said is it's like it makes me physically ill.
Yeah, man,
because you know that's what he's dealing with. It's
people want to come home and they want to forget their troubles
and watch a film about suicide bombers. That's what they want to do. Look, you can kind of. Who were you rooting for? In the film,
I liked all of them. I liked the guy who was, let's say, the smarter of all of them. But it was a matter of, I was rooting for all of them in a weird way, not to do it or not do it, but just for the movie to have some kind of a funny conclusion. It was really weird. I didn't find myself rooting for the guy like, it's gonna happen. But I guess the Omar was the most likable, and in a way, I was hoping that he would go in a certain direction. And I will say this, he did not go in the direction I wanted him to go in. He did not go in the direction I wanted him to go in, but in a way he did. Like his humanity, I liked his humanity. I know I'm double talking so I don't blow the ending, but it's not what you think it's going to be. But it wasn't what I wanted.
You sound
either.
like the head of a corporation that did something wrong. Just talking in vague generalities.
I kind of got what I wanted.
He's being kind, right? He's being decent.
I don't want to fuck with your movie. I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted, but I didn't get what I wanted in a certain way, and that was fine.
We're currently exploring options to...
No, we'll discuss this movie in length, in a few weeks when people get a chance to see it.
Well, I gotta tell you, just listening to you guys talking about this, I'm definitely going to see it. This sounds hilarious.
I think you'd love it, Bill. It's a great movie.
I was a sap for the married guy with the kid. When you brought the kid into the equation, I'm like, oh, fuck, I hope this guy wakes up.
But it sort of comes in the wrong way, right? I mean, it's kind of like, it's an upside down.
You got me with that one.
What sort of message is this sending to the youth?
He's on his laptop planning shit, and the kid comes in the room. It's like, he's shutting the laptop, and his wife...
He's watching a suicide bomber video with his fucking headphones in.
Just to see if it's good enough. And
what kind of message to send? Don't ever run while holding explosives. I would have to say that was...
Do you know, I mean, the fun... okay, there's a scene, I think it's giving too much away, where
you give away whatever you want. It's your movie.
I know, yeah. But I'm foolish to myself.
Oh, okay.
There's a scene where a sheep gets blown up. The most common thing is, did a sheep really get blown up? Because, as if you're allowed to blow up a sheep unless you eat it, which we did, which is fine. So we did blow up a sheep and ate it, I mean, there's exploding animals, I think we should say.
Yes.
Like my co-writers, Sam and Jesse, they call it the film about the fucking crow.
I forgot about the bird. Yeah. There's one funny scene where they're all driving somewhere and they're moving explosives from a hideout to somewhere else because they think that they've been and the fucking car breaks down. And they keep yelling at the whole film to fix this piece of shit car, and they have to walk down the street holding bags of explosives. It was just a great fucking
It's
scene.
almost like the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
it really is.
except there was 5 of them, and they wanted to murder Zionists.
I know, I understand that, but there's a Three Stooges thing happening in this movie.
But the thing that was scary about them was that you humanized them in a way which showed that they were radical. It showed their doubts about being radical. It showed how stupid what they were going to do. It showed how committed they are to what they do. And it's like you could interact with any one of those people. They were very fucking real people, which makes them more frightening.
Well, look, in real life, these, they don't go around with kind of suits on dressed as Ming the Merciless. It's sort of, and it's weird to imagine that actually they can be people like the head of the guys that bombed London was a sort of teaching assistant. People really liked him. He used to give lifts to kids who couldn't get to school on time. And so when he went and did something like that, people's heads, people who worked with him just went, What?
Yeah,
I remember that one.
The 9/11 attackers were all regular middle-class guys, or most of them were. It's like
some of them were quite odd.
Yeah,
I mean, like the leader of the cell when they lived in Hamburg, Mohammed Assa, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought this was possible. You'd say all those guys are so extreme. They're basically
big
going to be
Scrabble
the same.
fan.
Yeah, no, he used to eat nothing but mashed potato. He used to eat nothing but mashed potato and then sit there shoveling into his mouth saying food is boring.
They are tasty.
Are you kidding?
No,
What
I'm not.
shits he must have taken?
No craving.
So he's one of those guys. He wanted to feel something.
Yeah. He just
That's what got his heart rate going. He had to do
a
something
steering
like that.
wheel in a fucking building.
But do you believe this, true or false, right? When he used to use the bathroom, the others used to tease him because he urinated so loudly. And he would come back and they'd all be laughing and like making him feel awkward. And he said, it's not me, it's nothing to do with me, it's the doors, the bathroom doors, they're Jewish. He actually said, they used to call him, he was so strict that lot used to call him the Ayatollah. You wouldn't have thought that was possible.
Wow, yeah, it's
I mean, I'm crazy, but this guy, this guy's out of his mind.
This guy's really
Look,
crazy.
I'll kill every man, woman, and child, but Jesus Christ, put some salt on the potatoes, you
You lunatic.
There's a scene in the movie too where they break down and he accuses one of the car parts of being Jewish.
Exactly.
The spark plugs are Jewish. That's probably where that came from.
That's exactly where that came from. Yeah.
The writing is just amazing. A lot of fans on the phones here.
It's not about me though.
Jonathan in Maryland. We're talking to Chris Morris, the director of Four Lions.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Hi, Jonathan.
How are you doing? I'm a big fan of your work. Jam, Brass Eye, Nathan Barley, and even your appearances on the IT Crowd.
Wow. Steady now. You've listed the whole lot.
You did one of my favorite comedy sketches ever in Jam, where the guy commits suicide by jumping off the second floor 42 times.
Yeah. I thought that was beautiful.
42 times.
Well, it was like the first floor balcony, just in case he changed his mind. But it was great to film that because, you have to put a stuntman through that 42 times.
Yeah.
It was basic. And each time he sort of gets up and looks a bit more groggy. And then he gets but, it's a way to do it, right?
Yes.
That's great that you kill people in comedies, though. That's not enough of that. It's like it's fucking funny.
It's great.
You got a question, Jonathan, or no?
Yeah, I do. Are you ever going to work with Charlie Brooker again?
I hope to, yeah. Charlie Brooker's a writer in Britain. This guy I wrote Nathan Barley with. He'll probably come over here and be huge in 5 years. It's very funny. And I hope to, yeah. We just kind of, we keep having meetings. We just don't get it together. Maybe our brains are just turning slowly to grit and rubbish. But we hope to get one thing out. Maybe it'll be a 7-second podcast before we both shuffle off.
Oh.
I don't want to end on a downer. Yes is the hopeful answer. Yeah, come on.
All right.
Let's be hopeful about this. Happy ending.
Happy ending, yes. I've been waiting for a second series of Nathan Barley. I always wanted to find out what would happen.
For us that don't, I don't know.
What is Nathan Barley?
Yeah, we don't know what it's about.
It's about hipsters basically. It's a sort of like a satire on the sort of people, like, a bit like Vice magazine. People who sort of try too hard to be cool. People who try too hard to be cool. Right. Then there's you get those in every generation.
Hipsters are great
like
fodder.
I mean,
to goof on these days.
It's sort of. I mean, go on. You describe it.
Oh, yeah, it's more or less, it's about the new age of internet, how everyone's using YouTube. It's a mockery of it.
I don't go for that.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah, please.
There's no one to root for.
Who do you root for? They're just having fun.
What is the message?
So
the message is everyone's an idiot.
So was it a series or a film?
It was a 6-part series.
Oh, 6-part series. Oh, see, the fucking British know 6 and you're done. That's The Office, 2 seasons, 6 each season.
You're looking at big fans of the British Office there, Chris.
Yeah,
huge fans.
I mean, really.
The American version's better though.
I'm kidding. It was all right at first.
But you guys,
we don't know when to get off. We don't.
Some great things go on. Sometimes great things go on for ages, and I really don't understand where that comes from. It's something like South Park, on and on and on.
Right?
How does that happen? Is it kind of different? Cartoon, like you got to work hard here. Maybe we're just lazy.
No, I think because they're dealing with topical material.
Yeah, they didn't. They haven't jumped the shark
at all.
And there's no aging,
right?
And as in real life, nobody gets old, nobody dies, so you can have the same characters.
Yeah, you don't got to bring in that awful kid character.
You can bring in dead people. You can do whatever you want in a cartoon.
Except for your Empire, you went a little long with that.
Yeah, sure. But I mean,
that was
the EastEnders might have seen better days. Fucking season 40. I've never even seen. I just know some show.
The whole point of that is it just kind of stumbles on, and people still watch it.
How many years has that been on?
Oh, at least 20.
Okay.
Wow. Really
It's like Days of Our Lives, I guess, or one of those soaps.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm McDonald Carey.
McDonald Carey for Days of Our Lives. And it's like
decades of our lives.
The person that was like the young hot broad is now the matriarch of the family. She's been coming into work every fucking day, filming those god-awful soap
Except when
operas.
she's getting her face yanked back.
And then they write her out. She's on vacation.
Yeah. I fucking, you want off the subject, but I went to Chiller Theater last week to meet some of these, like, I love these old actors and these obscure celebrities, and it was getting photo with the Dallas cast, and I Dream of Jeannie, and just Charlene Tilton and some of the older. Larry Hagman looks the same, but the rest of them, it's like, oh, God.
He's got that new liver.
Does he really look the same?
Yeah, but he's sitting there. But I mean, he still looks good for Larry. I mean, he was making. Why are you assigning shit? He was making $250,000 in like '79 an episode.
Yeah, why does he have to sit there?
What did he do with his money?
Because he had a mortgage.
Got a liver,
They shook
too.
it up. They shook it up. I'm telling you.
You think he had health insurance?
Yes, SAG and after?
Drank like crazy.
Oh, is he a drinker?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He had to
He's
get
a
a new
big-time
liver.
drinker.
All right.
He was ready to die. He was like a day away from death, and then, of course, they got the celebrity liver on the platter. Well, we found one for you, Mr. Hagman.
And sure, they canceled his health insurance right before they found some sort of pre-existing condition.
Why not?
Patrick Duffy was there.
Was he there?
Yeah,
How
he
did
looks.
look?
Fucking.
What about Charlene Tilton?
Yeah.
Is she tilting the scales these days? Get it?
No, but you know what? I think I have my picture on here. I'll show you.
Actually, did a benefit the day before Halloween, and there was a woman who was the same age as that's the lady who played I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes,
that was Barbara
Okay,
Eden.
she was wearing that outfit, and she was like in her early 60s, and she had the midriff out and everything. It was back out. It was just. It was like.
Did you not feel a respect at some level, a respect for that?
Yeah, I did because you know what it looked like? It looked like after someone lands with a parachute. Not when the air's completely out of it, when it's just sort of half full. That's what her back looked like. It was, and I know
that's the most beautiful description of that condition. I think
it was very delicate.
Collapsing canopy. Yeah.
But it was like, yeah. I mean, I usually don't pick on someone like that. What's she supposed to do? But she doesn't care.
Can I see too,
She
Jimmy?
doesn't look that bad. She looks older,
Let me see.
but they show the
Let's turn
picture
that
of her
around.
behind.
That's a little rough.
Right, she could look worse.
Maybe get the
She
other
could look
picture off the
worse.
wall.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have the pictures up there so people know who they are.
I got
lot
a picture
of
of where's Larry Hagman? He still looks pretty much.
Look at Jimmy's pictures.
Yeah, really.
I know. I'm sorry. We got to throw
Big-time director, hot movie, and we're looking at your celebrity photos.
Sorry about that. We're just talking about old people.
Jimmy loves his celebrity photos.
No, but
by the
come
way.
on, Larry Hagman. It's like, come on.
Larry looks great.
I told you he does.
Let me see
No,
Larry.
everyone talk shit. Let's see Larry.
Show me now, because I talk shit.
You know, Bill and Chris see Larry. Everybody else goes to fuck themselves, and they wonder what Larry looks like. We talk movies again.
Do you go to cinema? When you go to see films, do you say, "I'm just going to go to a theater where they let you take out your laptop and look at your pictures"?
I actually bother people during the climax of the movie. Look, I met the guy who worked with this actor once. You get it? Shut up.
There's an obsession there, Chris. He
Shit,
loves
it's
his celebrity
fantastic.
photos.
I think it would be dangerous if you put a lid on that. I think you've got to let it.
I really
let
do.
it breathe.
Oh,
let it
it's
out.
fun.
Let it breathe.
Let it out.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I know.
one of those people
Stalker.
on that laptop is dead.
Yeah,
If you're not allowed to show the
exactly,
pictures to people.
Certain people are
we
laughed
know-
at for their obsession. Mark David Chapman. Come on, let it go. It's unhealthy. So how was this film released in Britain already? Can we talk about this on a show on Fox about 6 months ago? They showed the scene where they're buying.
The bleach.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, how do you just? He's like, you going to the same place to buy all the bleach? And he goes, yeah, but I change my voice every time. And he has a beard. They're like, but you're the same guy. He's like, and they did 3 voices, and he did one. He goes, well, what's this voice? And he goes, well, it's an IRA guy. He goes, that's a terrorist. Why would you make a terrorist voice? Fucking great.
That is great.
And then how he covered up his beard.
Oh, because he says he's a woman. And they're
Yeah.
like, but you've got a beard. He goes, I cover it. And he's got his hands over his face.
Yeah, just
Dude, I laughed
ridiculous.
out loud at that movie.
Well, you know what's it's
good.
scary, kind of, when we played it in Britain, we got requests, and it's actually happened here as well, that sort of police departments or people who work in anti-terror say, oh, can we play this to our kind of like recruits as almost like a training video? And you think, no, it can't be that. What? You really going to be, is it because you take real life and you kind of exaggerate it a bit for a film, but then they're playing it back into the system as if like, no, this is the kind of guy you got to watch out
this is what you're going to be dealing
for.
with.
Yeah.
who you should profile.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very strange.
All good actors, too, by the way. All great.
Maybe they just want to. Yeah, they're great.
All those guys were fucking terrific. Are any of those guys... Because there's some guys that are huge in Britain that we don't know.
Are they famous?
Any of those guys really big over there?
They're on the way up. I mean, one guy, Kayvan, who plays Wadge, does a sort of phone jacker thing. You know, he phones people up. He's great on voices, so, you know, he does that, and he's doing it in real life, too.
Which guy is he?
Masks. He plays Wadge, the not-so-bright one.
Oh, he's got the weird little...
No, Wadge, he's like, you know, he's Omar's brother, he's Omar's buddy.
Is he the confused guy?
It's in my heart and in my brain, the confused guy. My confused face, takes a picture of his face to see if he's confused,
Oh, God, that was
but he does a great show, phone jack.
Am I confused?
I forgot about that. That was...
Yeah.
I got to pop this in right when I get home.
Dude, I should have called you yesterday and told you. It's because a lot of times we don't want to watch the film because a lot of times we just
quite understand.
Lazy.
But it was so great.
So let's talk about the other films that are coming out on Friday in quite a negative way.
Yes, of course.
Megamind. Have you seen Megamind?
Fuck that stupid animation.
Fuck cartoons.
That's Kazoo from the Flintstones. They just reworked it.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about that film.
That wasn't kind of a review. It was just a kind of like avalanche of negative noise.
What
It was pretty
what other movies are coming out Friday?
That works, though. That
Due
works.
Date.
Huh?
Even if you liked it,
Due Date.
You can wait to see that till next week because that'll be around longer. This is in less theaters, so go see this.
And that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Exactly.
Seen it already.
It is.
I think it is, too.
It looks just like it.
I think they made that movie already.
But every generation wants
Isn't
their...
that Zach through the glass there?
It does look like Zach.
Is he one of your guys?
Yeah.
He does look like
Devin.
Zach.
He does. A lot of times people come up. In New York, about 3 or 4 times already.
Oh, my
You
God.
go to a restaurant, people go,
Holy shit.
Yeah, suddenly you get golden service until he says, no, I'm not him, and then it's gone away.
Why would he do that? Just go with it.
Of course he should, or just tell people he's kind of a fat, like, Unabomber. That's what he looks like. Ted Kaczynski.
Hey, you know, I wanted. That was a question I had. If some woman thinks he's Zach Galifianakis, right? He doesn't reveal that he isn't, and he bangs her. Is he in trouble on any level? Is that some sort of form of
Bill
rape?
Burr look-alike going around?
I'm just asking.
What do you look like, Bill?
Yeah. How's this going to work out for you?
I think maybe DNA, alibis, things like that.
Happy Days thing going on here. What's he called?
And please say Ralph Malph. I've always looked way more like Ralph Malph. They always say Ron Howard.
Yeah, I'd say Ron Howard.
What you should do is here's what you do: you fuck the girl. And as you're coming, you say, "I'm not Zach," and you fucking let your seed leak down her leg. Well, you don't tell her, and then she calls Zach, thinking she's got a kid with him.
Yeah,
she realizes it's just some guy.
I said Mac. Mac Galifianakis.
Well, actually, that's an interesting case. If legally, if she never knows that he isn't Zach.
He doesn't have to.
He has no obligation to that dumbbell.
No.
He should get his ball. He should say, "Look, Zach loves his ass eating, and she has to eat his ass." He should really humiliate her. That's what I would do. As if the act of fucking me wouldn't be bad enough.
That's so misogynistic.
Yeah.
Who do I root for in that? I just don't know who to root for.
The guy with the fucking ski mask and the knife and the erection. As a rule of thumb, that's the guy who should win.
Well, let's thank Chris Morris for stopping by.
Yeah, I guess we're done for the day.
Yeah, the movie's called Four Lions. Comes out tomorrow. Please go see it.
And also,
if you're a fan of comedy, especially.
Yeah, it's in New York, Austin, Dallas, San Francisco, Boston, L.A.,
Seattle,
and Seattle.
Wow, done. Was that memory?
Well, yeah. Well, I was looking at my fingers. It had to be. And I will be in Poughkeepsie the 19th and 20th at Bananas. And my Raw Dog interview with Gary is today at 4:00. Yeah, it was a good interview. Good. So if you're around, listen to it. If not, don't. And Bill Burr's DVD is available.
Right.
Wow, what a sweetheart.
Yeah, but you got to tell them 21 minutes of material.
Yeah, 21 minutes of material that was not on Comedy Central will be on it. It'll actually flow. There'll be no commercials.
Nice.
And
so I like watching stuff.
Exactly.
Chris Morris,
so
thank
please
you
check
so
it
much.
out on
Good
iTunes.
luck, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Soon.